Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Star Wars.
Oh
Uh,
I'm scared.
Natalie, 25% chance inbound.
It's a very high
Do we
chance.
roll?
It's
I'm
a very, very
curious,
high
do
chance.
do we roll at the start of the session or like at a certain point in it?
I roll at the start of the session.
We always do. Well,
Okay.
it's obligation. is
I
what
was
it
just
is.
curious.
Yeah, it is an obligation.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh my god!
Oh
Please do not let this be
no!
a.
All dark
I-
points.
Save us, loot. Save us.
You're
Loot.
the only one, Loot.
No!
No!
Roll your duty first. No duty triggered.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Oh no.
I'll roll obligation. Let's go!
No!
Today's number is 94!
Shit.
Oh, what is 94 mean?
What do you think?
What do you
means?
think it means, Jamie?
That's all.
Yeah.
You know it.
Oh.
I'm gonna be real with you,
Okay.
gang. I think we're screwed. I don't think we're doing it.
Well, things just got
Unfortunately,
things just got a lot more interesting.
This is meta knowledge,
We
so we
Yes.
have to do it still.
Right.
Take care.
No!
The last time you docked the Egret for repairs and
Well, wait.
negotiated with the shipmaster. Yes.
You didn't tell us, like, how much strain we lost.
They told us what the number was.
It's 94, so it's one for everyone except for Sophia.
Of course. Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, you only double it on double digits, right?
Yes.
Like, the two digits
Yes.
is the same. Yeah. Alright, sorry.
No.
Okay.
You negotiated with the portmaster at Port Nova for a rental ship, which he was happy to give you. You signed a waiver. And you're in possession of a dingy little shit ship.
Sure is.
But it will get
Yeah.
you from point A to point B. Just don't take it into combat. That's kind of the main thing here. Also, because I don't have a stat block for it. I haven't picked what ship for this. I don't believe you have any more preps to make on Port Nova. I think you're ready to just set off. Is that correct?
Yep.
Actually, I wanted to ask, did we rest at all?
You can go ahead and rest
I
now.
believe
You haven't.
so.
Am I
No.
sorry? Am I crazy,
Okay.
or has the Destiny pool emptied itself?
It just
It has
has.
emptied itself.
We had 7 total,
It's-
I think.
it's-
6
it's-
dark.
Yes, it's 7. I think it's. Oh no, sorry, you're right. It's 6 dark, not 8 total. There we go. It's 7 total.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you haven't rested, you can go ahead and rest. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I have no issue with this. In fact, I would even encourage it.
Yes.
how big is this
Yes.
ship? Would Bacta be able to administer some first aid so I can get rid of this last critical injury? Holds my
I mean,
hands
how-
together pleadingly.
I mean, the size of the ship isn't what would prevent that from happening. What would prevent that from happening is me.
Fair. Well, I mean, like, you wouldn't do first aid in a TIE fighter.
If you had to.
I get. Well, okay, fair, I guess. But, like, I don't know. Will you allow it?
No. Suffer.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm home alone. I get to scream all I want today.
I respect it. I'm always home alone now.
They call him the Screamer.
It's my new hobby. After I got canceled on Twitch.
What was it this time?
What it was doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You have a destination in mind.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn your eyes to the basin map, the BAP, as I like to call it.
As
Do
it's
call it
called.
that.
Yeah, I do call it that. You will find your destination in the Telsier system at the northern fringes of the basin.
Our destination and our destiny.
Yeah. I made
To die
an
by
entry.
Natalie's lightsaber.
Enjoy the entry. I went ahead and made it. It's up here. You should be able to see it and access it.
Ah, you've grabbed this module.
I've had this module for a long time.
Okay, so this planet's about as habitable as the Arctic. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remind you, did we already get our new suits?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
we
did.
got them
You're
last
right.
time.
I see it,
Adverse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I assume I can't wear
Cool.
both my armored clothing and the adverse environmental gear, Tez.
You cannot.
Yeah, I thought so.
That would be nice.
Lost a defense. Damn.
Very well. You set off for the Telsier system.
Yes.
Mhm.
How do you pronounce this
Off.
planet? Zeside?
I think it's
Yes.
Zide.
Zide.
That's correct. It's the
Okay.
side.
Zeside.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, it's this side. Okay.
Wait, is this side or just Zide?
It's the
Zeside.
side.
This side.
Okay.
Yeah. That is how I intended it at the very least.
Mhm.
Fair. Research outpost.
You make your way in your dingy little replacement ship to the Telsier system, coming out of your system's jump.
Bit of a rough ride.
Yes, the ship is bumpy and uncomfortable, and it's not too spacious. Spacious enough that you can all fit aboard it. But you wouldn't be hauling cargo in this thing by any means.
Mhm.
No. I imagine not.
Coming out of jump, you find yourself on approach to planet Decide. Visibly out of the cockpit, it is a frozen wasteland. As far as you can see, the planet is completely shrouded in shades of white and light blue. This is effectively what we call bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah.
This is calling this the boonies would be an insult to the boonies. This is nowhere. This is the kind of place you go when you want to escape something and never be found.
And yet, here we are looking.
And yet here you are looking. You want to go ahead and just make planetary approach, or do you want to do anything while you're on approach?
I think we should make planetary approach and do like a quick scan over the area to see if we see any obvious signs of life or the laboratory.
Yeah.
Sure. You want to descend down towards you want to enter atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Most of you are probably... The cockpit is not that big. It can only really house 3 of you at one time. At most.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume that's going to be Dara, Sophia, and then... Loth or Bacta would be my guess, but...
I can sit co-pilot, yeah.
Well, as you descend, you cruise through the atmosphere. Instruments on the cockpit's controls readily measure the temperature as it tries to gauge the current situation. Well, fortunately, while you can get accurate temperature readings, you don't necessarily need them. The edges and tips of the front shields, like the window of the cockpit, start to gently frost over.
Oh,
Just immediately upon descent. It is reading negative 58C currently.
oh my god. Ugh.
Is right.
You said you wanted to run a localized scan, is that correct?
Yeah.
Then Sophia or Lofkata, give me a computers check, please.
Shouldn't Timmy do that?
He was not in the cockpit.
Oh, right.
I think that's gonna be Sophia.
Yeah.
Me no good with
What
computer.
if-
Go
Or
ahead
difficulty.
and give me a difficulty normal check with 2 setback, please.
Nope.
Damn.
Alright.
Mm,
The ship's antiquated and ill-maintained systems fail you. Perhaps not too surprising. Your scan yields very little in terms of results on signs of any life here.
Sophia, how good is your range on sense?
Well, I mean, I only have one range upgrade, but I have enough force rating that I can go out to very long range, with a suitable roll.
Did Hawk not give us the coordinates to the outpost?
no.
Wow, fair enough.
I think all he knew was that it was on this planet. That was the most he was able to get.
Well, with scanning yielding nothing, your best bet's probably just to fly around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Swoop through the atmosphere for a while. Eventually, you come upon the site of a small settlement located down in the windswept, snowy plains. You see maybe as many as 20 domed buildings located down there, with clearly like shovel-trodden paths connecting between them in various patterns. You can see like bits of metal plating constructed to shield from the harsh winds, and maybe keep some of the snow from flowing in and just just plugging the entire place up.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, there are a couple of small landing pads cleared out, with only one ship parked here currently.
I think we should probably park a little bit of ways so that we don't immediately draw attention.
Agreed.
Surely we can walk a couple clicks in this, right? Smash cut to us getting out of the ship.
It's cold as hell.
Yeah, I mean, you can park wherever you want as long as the ground can support you.
Who just park on a
Interesting
very thin
statement.
sheet of ice and who just park on a very thin sheet of ice and just
Okay, so you want to park away from the settlement? How far away?
ah.
Two
I think
clicks.
over the
2
horizon.
clicks.
2 clicks.
Was that loot?
Over the horizon.
Okay, so yeah, a couple clicks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Dara, you do your best to maneuver this scrap heap. You land it down, and you can immediately feel weight of the snow under giving as the ship settles into the snow a bit. It doesn't sink far, maybe a meter or two before it seems to stabilize. Compressing the snow beneath to be more stable. Frozen wasteland, my beloved.
We do not want to be here.
Frozen wastes.
Alright. Well, adverse environment gear on. Let's get going.
You all take some time to suit up into your gear. You double and triple check all the seals. You don't wanna walk out there in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
And step outside. It's cold. Your environmental suits are thankfully keeping you reasonably warm, but even so, you can tell that it's just a little. Even inside of your suit, it's a little below room temperature.
Lofcott is chill. It's a nice change of pace.
Yes.
It will be chill.
Who's out first? Is Backed out first?
Sure, back door go out first.
You step outside, place a foot down. It sinks, a decent bit. You get snow, your foot sinks in up to your knee at least, maybe a little up your thigh.
Ash could have been walking hard.
You're right, Jamie. It will.
Let's keep going.
All right, you all trudging out.
Yep.
Trudge is a good way to put it.
I know.
The trudgers.
You start wading through the snow. It takes you a bit to get to the settlement, assuming that's where you're walking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Takes you, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I don't know, 2 hours, given the environment, given just the not necessarily the distance as much as the density of snow you're wading through. Hour and a half, maybe thereabouts.
Fair.
Either way, you arrive. As mentioned, this settlement comprises of maybe at most 20 domed buildings, clearly set deeper into the snow. All of them with, a white plush covering and metal frames.
Mm-hmm.
Very igloo-like. Not many people are traversing those dug paths currently, as you make your arrival. Well, here you are.
Here we are.
So what's the plan?
Get in, grab the tablet, run out.
I want to try and sneak in as far along as we can.
Can we see Loft probably has his macro binoculars. Can you see anybody in what kind of uniform gear they're wearing?
Are you just approaching in sight of, you're not entering the settlement?
Yeah, you said there were people outside, right?
Yeah, a couple people trudging along the snow-trodden path, yeah. or the shoveled paths.
All right. Well, like on our approach, Loft can look through his binoculars, see what they're wearing, and see what we may need to get off of people to appear as normal research assistants.
They all look like they're wearing just environmental gear.
Okay, no like armbands or like
No.
badges or anything. Okay.
No, nothing you can see.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm not seeing them wear any kind of uniform stuff. I think if we just walk up, they're probably not gonna care too
If they're not wearing
much.
uniforms, that probably means there's few enough of them here that they can give or take recognize each other.
I might stand out a bit too much then.
How much of does the environmental gear like expose? Like, can they see like Lafka's face?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine the only thing you reasonably can see is people's faces.
Okay.
Yeah, based off the description, we are basically wearing Arctic exploration gear that we have in our world, but made with
Yeah.
fancy materials.
Yeah, more or less.
So,
Fancy Star Wars material.
so like, we might have like face covering and goggles, but that's not going to hide the fact you're a fucking Wookiee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably wearing like what's it called, like not a bandana, but a similar
Like
thing.
a
You know,
face
like,
mask.
yeah. I suppose, yeah. That's simple as. And goggles and
Like,
whatnot. Yeah.
Nor is it going to hide the fact that Bacter is a heavily armed soldier, or whatever Timmy's carrying.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, if we did want to do that, we would probably have to split up. That actually
Which-
could work. We could have some of us go and be like, "Hey, we're here to, we were sent here to help out with y'all. We're here for this," and then we can like distract as the bigger guys. sneak
It's
around
worth
through.
mentioning that as far as Lockout can see, there's no defenses either there. This doesn't look defended.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a research outpost, and a pretty isolated one.
Assuming this is the research outpost.
I was going to say, we've
Assuming
been
it is.
assuming that.
Because
Uh,
it is fully possible that this is a settlement of just people.
So, are we going to split up, or
Uh,
I can
Looks
probably
at
do
what
either
we
way,
rolled.
because
or obligation? Are we going to split up?
Yeah,
I think under the circumstances, splitting up is a terrible idea.
yeah.
all right. Let's approach in a group. One of us can call out to them, be like, "Hey, we're here to help,"
Mhm.
and then we will try and improv our way from there.
Sure.
All right.
Alright. A lot of you trudge through the snow and on closer approach to this settlement of sorts. You spot someone outside by like the dug area for like ships to land. Kneeled over with by some equipment. You can see the flash of like a welding torch spark out from in front of him.
Dara, I think this is you.
Sorry, I got pulled away for a second. What's up?
God damn it. We are on our approach. There's a guy using a welder's torch.
Yeah,
Did
he
he
seems to just
like,
be.
talk to us or notice us, or
No, I mean he's got his back turned. He's knelt on the ground. He's working on like some kind of service panel on a bit of like machinery standing out by the like ship landing pads here. Calling them
Okay,
pads
we can-
generous. They're just shoveled areas.
we can try and talk to this guy, or we can just knock him out and grab his like, what do you call it? keycard whenever like he does like his
I
identification
reiterate,
and, like,
we
walk
don't
in.
know that this is the research station.
Yeah.
That's right.
If they're gonna be housing
we-
something of that, like that, like
No,
priceless-
guys, no, just knock out the random civilian.
yeah.
I mean, Dara wouldn't feel bad about it, but y'all the Jedi here. Do we know what the name of the research outpost is?
No. You were told more or less what Hawk knew, that there is one here, and that this is where that relic is being kept.
Right. Okay. I guess we're just gonna walk up to him then.
Alright. You approach. He's just again, he's on the ground. As you draw a little closer, you can very faintly hear this person humming to themselves. Just barely visible over the spark of his torch. Now you're closer, it looks like he's welding together some like pipes that have gotten out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I guess we'll cost him. Hello? You over there?
Doesn't respond.
Does he have like earplugs in or like headphones on or something?
No, I mean he's wearing a hood. Like because Arctic survival gear.
There's no like outline of like something beneath like the.
Not
Hood.
that no, the hood is too like bulky and for you to reasonably see that anything like that.
Okay, I guess we'll continue to approach.
You're standing right by him, like literally right behind him.
Oh, okay. How far is this from the main building?
There's no main building.
Oh, it's just him out here?
As I said, this area comprised of like 20 different like igloo-like buildings.
Sorry, okay. I guess we'll just tap on the shoulder?
You tap on the shoulder, raise a hand up like in a minute.
Loth folds his arms like.
Oh, you're just gonna wait a minute? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait.
He finishes what he's doing. He puts the equipment down, turns around, and you see. He looks at it. He turns around, looks a little surprised through his goggle. Like he's wearing like a welding mask, clearly, obviously,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because safety first.
Welding.
He's like, raises that up, reaches into his hood, pulls down like a headset, so it hangs around his neck. Reaches down towards his belt, like clicks on like a Walkman to hit the pause button. Like, hey there. Can I help you?
Hi. We just arrived here.
He
This
looks
is the
around.
research outpost, right?
He quickly flicks his eyes around, like you try to see your ship that you distinctly didn't land here. Right. Sorry, your question?
We weren't given exact coordinates. This is the research outpost, right? We've had to walk quite a ways to get here.
Like research outpost.
Yes.
I said, I don't know nothing about that. Sorry.
Can I tell if he's lying?
I mean, you can make an attempt to see through the lies of the Jedi, I suppose. Make me a difficulty easy perception check.
Has just accidentally
Okay.
reveals this guy's a Jedi.
Wouldn't that be something?
It seems to be completely honest, as far as you can tell, anyhow.
Seems like we've got turned around then. Would you mind helping us out, or maybe point us towards someone that can help us?
Oh, I mean, he kind of like stands up, brushes snow off of the legs of his outfit. He points towards the only path from here. I was like, well, I mean, if you take the path there, you'll get towards the rest of the settlement. Probably want to check by the canteen if someone there can help you. Probably. Where's your ship? I didn't see anyone come in and land.
Like I mentioned, our coordinates were. They didn't transmit correctly, so we had to basically just guess. Like I mentioned, we had to walk here.
Ah, right. Well, good luck to you. I hope you find what you need. If you don't need anything
too.
else, I have gestures to the equipment. I have this refueling pump to fix.
Yes, have a nice day.
He's like, you have a nice day. And he kneels back down to get to work.
He says that every day.
He like puts on his Walkman again, puts the headphones on, gets back to work.
Puts Fleetwood Mac back on.
I was gonna say he's playing some fucking like 70s shit.
He's like, I'm a Barbie girl in.
No, not right.
I'm thinking of like Star. I'm thinking of Star Lord.
I try to think of him as little as possible.
Fair enough.
He's
up?
not the only person to have a Walkman. in
Yeah,
India.
I know.
All right, then I guess we'll head down the path towards the cantina, or towards the settlement, then the cantina.
I mean, you make your way down. As mentioned, the most of the paths throughout this settlement area are just these shoveled areas where you have on either side of you like 4 meters tall walls of snow.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. You trudge around, find a slightly defrosted sign that points towards the cantina, and follow suit, entering into one of the buildings here. You step in. You immediately enter into an airlock, which when all of you are in, the door shuts behind you. There's like a hiss as it readjusts before it opens up further in, where you can tell the ambient temperature is notably higher.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right then. What kind of fellows do we have inside this fine establishment?
Maybe a dozen or so different people in here. All of them seem to have shrugged off most of their environment gear. In fact, by the entrance, there's a large set of like lockers where most of you can see people's like jackets and boot and like
Mhm.
goggles and gloves all like mounted up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're all keep their stuff on. We're not gonna be here long.
Music plays from a clearly like 20 years ago broken speaker in here.
Mm-hmm.
Stepping in kind of draws eyes of all the various peoples here, but none of them seem to mind you too much. A few moments later, the barkeeper gives you a wave. He acknowledges your presence.
Yeah. Or we'll head over to the bar then.
Huh? The barkeeper, a Duros, looks towards you on approach. They're like, "Hi, not often we see new people here."
Yeah, so we probably won't be staying long. Something warm, please.
Can do.
Great.
They're like, for all of you or just for you?
She'll glance at the party. What do y'all think?
I'm good.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'll take something. What have you got?
Sure thing.
Fluff?
Loft nods and goes, "Yes, please."
That's
Yeah.
3 then.
Gives a nod. Goes up towards one of the like many taps and like grabs like a nozzle, like a dishwashing nozzle, basically, and just fills up each cup with some kind of steaming liquid. Puts it in front of you. Here you go. This will help warm you up.
How much is that?
Appreciated.
3 platinum.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna add that to the log.
Sure.
We were hired on contract to come help out on a project, but it seems like we've got the wrong place. Pretty sure we're on this right planet, though. Are there other settlements on this planet?
Like, they live for like a couple, all in pretty great distances from each other.
Great.
What kind of contract you hired on?
It's she's gonna like whisper Imperium work.
They kind of like
Very
I think
vague.
they
Yeah.
kind of like you probably don't want to say that out loud then.
Yes, we've.
No, go on.
Yes, we're just looking to find where we're supposed to be.
Like, sorry, they're just like, sorry, I can't help you. If I were you, I'd consider hauling ass out of here as quickly as possible.
And why's that?
We're not the most receptive to your type.
I completely understand.
Oh.
But
Mm.
if you just help us a little, we can get right out of here.
Would love to, but I don't know. Sorry.
You know what? Can I do the funny? Can I try and sense his thoughts?
Sure.
Okay, I believe that's my discipline versus his.
I'm in like difficulty 2, tops. Average, completely normal guy. You know, like
Yeah, easy. Okay, that is 1.2 sense his thoughts.
Okay. You sense his thoughts. He wants to shoo you out of here before anyone else finds out your Imperium, because they clearly don't have any love lost for the Imperium here.
Mm-hmm.
If I had
Uh,
$1 for every time pretending to be the Imperium didn't work, it would be every time we've tried to pretend we've been the Imperium.
It hasn't not
but
worked yet.
To get to what I was trying to find out, he's not lying about not knowing anything, as far as I can tell.
No, he definitely knows things.
Okay.
But you get a distinct impression of he's not going to talk to anyone aligned with Imperium. More than in capacity as proprietor of the establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sophia just kind of gives a nod, and she says, "We'll be out of your hair as soon as possible."
Enjoy those drinks, and as I said, I'd recommend not lingering. I'm gonna walk off to tend to another customer.
Fair enough.
Is there a reason we can't just say we're not actually with the Imperium? We were just trying to.
Because that would be
We
really
don't wanna-
suspicious.
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
extremely suspicious.
It would also be hard to believe, I think, after
We walk
we
in,
claim
Say
that
you're
we're
Imperium.
Imperium, and then the instant they say they don't like their Imperium, the Imperium, we're like, no, actually, we were just kidding. That doesn't fly.
Okay.
Next time we try to gather information for any reason, can we not claim we're Imperium? Because it hasn't ever worked.
Again, we're still in process here. It hasn't not worked until it backfires.
The
Except
bartender
it
has
did
left.
already not work, because I have found out conclusively that he won't tell us anything because he thinks we're Imperium.
Yeah, so a pretending to be Imperium approach has not worked. We now have to adjust our approach. So pretending to be Imperium has distinctly failed. Again.
Okay. You're seeing a closed door here. I'm seeing an opportunity. We can
Dara,
pull
you
on it.
failed.
He's worried about
Let's move on.
Let's TikTok.
talking whatever.
Just because we haven't started another bar fight doesn't mean that this hasn't worked.
He's not going to talk to you as long as he assumes you're Imperium, and likewise, that will probably be true for everyone else here,
Yeah.
based on what he said.
Yeah, we're just going to wrap up here and we're going to go to a different settlement where we will not claim that we're Imperium.
Okay,
Man,
you
we're
just
kinda
wanna
fucked up here.
okay, you just wanna abandon the settlement here entirely and try to find one of the other ones.
I think that's the move. Yeah, we
Okay. Alright.
put the wrong foot forward on this one.
Yeah.
Do you wanna get some directions to one of the other settlements? So you don't have to search for it.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
You get someone here to tell you roughly where to go. They also tell you distinctly that they hope you have a ship because walking there is not feasible, and they are not. And unfortunately, all their snow scooters are unavailable. But conveniently, you have a ship, so that's fine. You just have to walk to it.
That shouldn't be too bad.
So back to the ship and then towards the next settlement.
Yep.
When it comes to this next settlement, are you going to actually land at it, or are you going to land away from it again?
I think we should land at it this time.
Yeah.
Just save ourselves the trouble.
All right. You spend a little bit of time flying in the direction before finding another settlement. This one appears a little bit smaller than the one you were previously at. But it has a small landing area that this ship can tuck down on. You land and arrive. Other than the size being different, it's more or less the same. Like tall snow walls on either side between dug paths between the habitats. So here you are.
Let's go find a communal area.
Yep.
That's good.
You take a quick look around. Make your way down the path towards like the middle of the area. Like these settlements aren't very spread out. It's just you have to walk down the very specifically dug paths to get anywhere. There doesn't seem to be any. This settlement doesn't seem to have any kind of cantina, or even doesn't even look like it has any shop.
Might just be a
There
road.
is. Yeah, there's like some signage towards like a supply depot, and then most of it seems to be residential.
There's no weaponry around here, is there?
What do you mean?
Like air cannon kind of things.
No, there's no anti-air weapons.
Okay.
No, definitely not. No installations of any kind of like that.
Okay.
Or you could go knock on someone's door. You could go check out the supply depot. You can sit around, wait for someone to come by. You could do that awkward thing where you need the help of an employee at the store, but you don't want to approach one of them. So you stand there and wait and like hope to catch one of their attention, and like and then you're like, this isn't working. They're all too busy. You stood there for 10 minutes because you want to ask about the fucking granola bars.
Yeah.
And then you find an employee and you ask, hey, where's the granola bars? And he like literally turns you around. You're like, oh, and then you're really embarrassed.
Because it was right there.
And
And
you
you
like
completely missed it.
And then you realize you didn't even actually want granola bars, but now you've been waiting for them for like 12 minutes, and you asked an employee who just turned you around, and then you just feel obligated to buy a granola bar now.
Just because they're staying there, like watching you now, they're waiting like for you to go up and get a bar.
This is oddly specific, Tez. Are you okay?
I don't like granola bars now, so unfortunately, this is an entirely fictitious scenario. It would be a lot funnier if it wasn't. This was, however, me at the tills in my shop. We have like self-checkout tills, and I needed to buy some wares that require an employee to come and to verify your age. So I was standing there for like 5 minutes because no one was like looking at the flashing light above my till.
Oh,
And there's no call button around, so I just had to wait.
Yeah.
Uh, that sucks.
Yeah, what would you? What's the plan? Other than buying granola bar.
Uh,
Um,
Bacta probably has enough presence to, just get someone's attention, being 6 foot and with a Wookiee.
Yeah, but no one's like here. That's the thing. You have to like go where someone is.
That's step one of talking to someone.
So that's the part where I say you could just stand around and wait for someone to pass by.
Yeah.
But you also you have no way of knowing how long that will take.
Granola bar story, I forgot where we were.
Oh, what are we doing here?
Remember the
granola
moral of the
bars.
story was, guys, don't just stand there.
Let us out.
I don't want to be here anymore.
No, what's the move?
What is the move?
yeah, I guess
Have a
we'll.
look around.
Yeah, we'll walk around and see if like anyone's out and about here, and if not, we'll go like knock on a door, so to speak.
Yeah.
You look around again. There's no like plaza or anything like, because it's just specifically dug paths, right, that like fork off of one another. So you look around for a little bit. No one's particularly just milling about. I mean, as far as you can tell, it's the middle of the day. Most people are probably
They
working.
got shit to do.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, you going to the supply depot or knocking at someone's door is probably your best bet. Assuming you don't just want to wait. Because, I mean, if you wait, someone will eventually come by, but...
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, we might as well just wait. What's the worst that could happen?
12 minutes.
4
go by.
hours later. Okay, I mean, if you just want to wait, you can wait. It takes a while, though. It probably takes you a solid 40, 50 minutes before someone eventually comes by. You watch as someone like comes down one of the dug paths with like a small like hover cart worth of like crates stacked on it that they're probably transporting.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you stop them, they look probably like they're just gonna walk past you. So I assume you're just gonna call out and get their attention.
Yeah, Sophia's gonna call out and like wave her hand to get their attention.
The guy, this guy, you can see that like he pulls his palate to a stop and gives like a sigh, like clear aura of great. What do I have to deal with now? As he puts it in like essentially park, walks over, brushes some snow off of him, reaches and like slightly muffled through like the face mask. Like, yeah.
Geez, is there someone around here we could ask for directions? We are looking for a particular settlement here on the planet, but we got faulty coordinates and we're not sure who to ask.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of my shift. I'd go ask the foreman.
Where can we find the foreman?
What time is it? Taps like on the side of his like face mask. You can see a little bit of like a HUD display for it. Probably having lunch right about now. His house is you go down the passage there, turn left, left again, forward past 2, and then to the right. That'll lead you to his house.
Great, thank you.
Gives you just a nod, resumes, goes back to his little pallet and continues pushing.
Right, let's go find the foreman.
You trot along. You arrive. You follow instructions. Arrive at the front door to the foreman's habitat.
Habitat.
I mean, these are habitats. I wouldn't call them houses. Well, you're here.
Yeah.
I guess we will. There is a door, right? Like a
Yeah,
proper door that we can
Yeah,
knock on.
there's the proper. There's also next to it a panel that you could probably ring on.
Ah, that makes sense. I'll do that.
Yeah, you. There's a moment before you hear crackled through a clearly ill-maintained intercom system. Yeah. Says I told you oafs not to disturb me. I'm having lunch.
Apologies. We're not from around here.
No,
We're
shit, you're not the oafs. Hold on.
What shit? You're not them.
You hear some crackling and ringing from the system as he tries to as he enhances. It's like right. Sorry. Hi.
Hi.
What can I do for you?
As a apologies, we're not from around here. We're looking for a particular settlement.
Cut you outside. Cut you outside. Sorry, this intercom's too bad. I'm just gonna let you in.
All right.
Cracks up. The front door slides open into an airlock again.
Yeah.
Step in, shuts. It adjusts temperature, opens to let you into the actual habitat. A not particularly large home. You open straight into the main room. There's a round central table. There's a slightly curved kitchen, a staircase ascending up towards a loft area in here. It's very, very quaint. The foreman, you would assume, looks to you like a bit male, is standing by one of the consoles in the room. He has his jumpsuit partially pulled off, tied around his waist, legs still on, tied around his waist. Turns his attention towards you and says, hi. Weren't expecting visitors today.
Right. We're looking for a particular settlement, but we received faulty coordinates. And we were wondering if you might be able to direct us to where we need to go.
Oh, simple as yeah. Which settlement are you looking to go to?
Well, Sophia gets a bit of a little bit of an awkward look, and she says, "It's hard to describe as we're here for a I gotta think about my phrasing here. She says, we're supposed to be here for for something confidential, but we haven't been able to get in contact with the person who sent us. Sorry, what'd you say?
Is he just right? Just listening confirmations.
After a moment, she says, we're looking for an Imperium station.
Nope, nothing here. Sorry.
I would like to You know what I'm gonna do.
Sure, go right ahead. Difficulty of I can't just 2 again.
Fair enough. Okay, that just barely is enough. Goddamn.
He definitely knows what you're talking about, but you get it's clear from his thoughts that he is not going to talk. That's not information he's going to share easily.
Can I get any sense of whether he's in favor of or against the Imperium? Okay, or more accurately, does he think that we're with the Imperium or opposed in the current situation?
He probably thinks you get the impression that he thinks you're probably Imperium aligned based on the frankness of the conversation. You know.
Hang on, sorry, I just heard a really loud sound. I need to go investigate that. I'll be right back.
No worries.
It was me. I knocked down everything in Iri's kitchen.
What the hell, Ted?
Why would you do that?
Wow, rude.
I was looking for the granola bars.
You don't even like
I
granola!
thought,
You're correct. I don't.
Okay,
well,
we're
then why are
good.
you looking for them?
What was I saying? As soon as he says that, Sophia lowers her voice conspiratorially, and she says, "Please don't misunderstand. We're not here to help them."
You just got like. See, well, I'm sorry to say I don't know of any such location.
She looks a little frustrated for a moment, and then she says, after considering it, she says, "I think you do, but I want to assure you that our interests are more aligned than not. I don't expect to be able to persuade you of that easily, but let me think here. Man, negotiations are hard."
It's true.
Yes, they are.
She says, Sophia says, "If you are not in favor of the Imperium's presence here, I can give you my word on behalf of the Resistance that
Dialogue engine.
She says, "If you're not in favor of the Imperium's presence here, I can give you my word on behalf of the Resistance that helping us out with this will go a long way to getting them off the planet."
Okay, make me go ahead and give me a charm check, please.
Fair enough. Difficulty.
I'm gonna go ahead and say 3, please.
Okay. I will.
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my dark points to upgrade that difficulty once as well.
Well, all right then.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Chat she
I will,
minds.
however, be doing a little bit of this to activate the
Oh!
the control skills upgrade for the influence power.
Right.
Here we go. And thank God I did.
Woo!
Good boy.
Nice. Good call.
That's kind of a crazy roll, actually. Hang on.
Super
7
charm.
fucking light points.
Well,
Have fun with those.
Yeah, I guess those are just all successes.
yeah, the foreman seems hesitant. After a few moments, like, look, if someone says they'll know someone snitched, like I don't like him any more than the rest of them. Your resistance folk do, if that's in fact who you are, but
I understand you've got your own safety to worry about. Well, in that case, if you can't tell us anything, you wouldn't happen to know of some other place where we might be able to get more information.
you gotta like your best bet's at the main settlement. They have a cantina there.
Fuck.
Um,
Gotta let me cook.
you were cooking dubious food, Chief.
I had a
You'd
plan.
already set the kitchen on fire.
What was your plan?
That
Not gone.
Oh dear.
Stick, we can't
Um,
work with you if you're not gonna like tell us shit. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh no, I didn't get the chance to. I was in the middle of talking, and y'all had cut me off a bunch of times and said just don't do it. So I didn't.
Point is, it's done now. Sophia says, unfortunately, we already tried there and they weren't as receptive.
he thinks for a moment. He's like, he thinks for a few moments. 2,000 platinum. With
We
that,
did not
I,
have even close to that.
so he's like, with that, I can relocate and get off world in time.
We have 620. Just putting that out there. We do not have that
Yeah.
cash.
We're not even close to affording that.
Uh, hmm. Sophia just kind of looks around the rest of the group for the moment and says, I'm afraid we don't have that much to spare.
I can't help you if my next on the line. Your best bet's at the main settlement.
Right. Well, thank you anyway.
It gives you a nod. It's like, well, for what it's worth, I hope you succeed in whatever you're trying to do.
Thank you.
You see yourselves out of the foreman's home, I assume.
Yes.
Back into the frozen wilderness. And by that I mean the area in the settlement. Alright, you all step back outside.
Loft kind of just
Alright, yeah, that's-
sighs as like, all right, well, we trying the cantina
Seems
again?
like- Seems like getting the intel is going to be a lot harder than we thought it would be. Oh boy.
We do head back to the cantina. We're going to be in a worse position for it.
Yes.
There has to be somewhere else then.
Figuring out where is difficult, though.
Not unless we want to be bouncing around from settlement to settlement.
Likely
take all day.
likely get the same results.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Ah, God, hang on.
Mhm.
I almost had an idea, but I'm missing an upgrade that I would need to pull this off, and it's not a control upgrade, so I can't spoof it.
What was the idea?
The idea is I would go in and disguise myself as like an obvious Imperial agent using a Force illusion, and be like, "Hey, we saw a group." I would be like, "Hey, we heard a report about a group of rebels pretending to be Imperium agents come through here. Did you see anything?" To make them be like, to give the impression that we're
were
not
legit.
actually Imperium. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have a
think it was a matter
suitable
of him not-
disguise for that.
I don't think it was a matter of him not believing us, because he seemed like pretty. At the end there, like he was like, "All right, just pay me off and I'll do it." Like I don't think he doubted us.
the
enough
main
to
You're,
think
enemy-
he
you're
would.
Yeah.
conflating the two guys that we talked to here.
I-
Oh, okay. I thought we were still talking about this guy.
I believe Iris is referring to the
At the
proprietor
cantina.
of the cantina.
Never mind then. Okay, I see the vision now.
Yeah.
Speaking of going, I heard they had a 6-pack.
I heard they were
ripped as fuck.
shredded. Yeah.
No, unfortunately,
I do have a disguise kit that one of us could use. That
Is that-
includes like face masks, even like fake fingerprints and stuff. Like it's pretty elaborate.
that could work, but I was going to go for a Force illusion specifically because it would let me mimic like an actual Imperium uniform.
To remove one layer of complexity from his plan, you could also just disguise yourself as a new person and then go in and pretend to be a rebel who wants to go take down the Imperium and get the
You know-
information.
That's a good point.
That's also true.
I'm only friends with intelligent people.
This may also Never mind. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Clint.
So if
No,
we
actually,
want to
on
maybe
it was about-
give it a day, spend a day like on the ship, so like we're not just immediately showing up back into the cantina
Yeah, that's...
asking the exact same question.
Sure, glasses and a mustache.
I wasn't quite sure how to phrase it, but Loot understood what I was thinking. Loot knows.
But
You are a little time pressured.
We could.
yeah,
Yeah.
We are getting a little bit down to the wire here, and I know we got the two Jedi here. But if we need to coerce this guy, we could, like that we're here right now. Like we could do that.
No, that Sophia is so extremely not on board with that.
Yeah, unfortunately we
figured.
have a paladin on the party, so
Two of them even.
Well, 1.5.
yeah, I'm not sure how much Lafcarda counts as a paladin at the point.
He's trying.
He's doing his best.
Listen, that's true. Okay, you know what? I'll give him that.
Let's get the burgers. Oh,
I do think Loot's idea of just going in and pretending like with a disguise and just pretending to be another rebel might be the move. And I think we don't. Would it?
Just due to like the suspicion of the whole situation. Yeah, not unplayable, but it will be probably like a little bit harder now.
I think if I phrase it in the right way, it could work reasonably well. The issue is just whether the disguise works.
I think that would probably be like a skill check of like skullduggery or stealth or something. Or deception.
I wouldn't know. I would know. That's a lie.
Well, I'm not the one who has the disguise kit, so I extra don't know how it works.
Let me just like copy paste the description so we're all on the same page. Okay, it does not like me trying to highlight that, so.
Okay, no, we're yeah, we're good. I have looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me think. Sophia doesn't have to be the one who actually like makes the disguise, I wouldn't think. That's what makeup artists are for. Right, Dara?
Yeah. But it is also thinking if you still have to play the role well enough. You would still have to be acting.
That's easier. That's easier. That's the easier part.
What we're looking for is, actual Sophia and not pretending to be an Imperium agent Sophia.
Yeah.
We also do have the advantage of we never pretended to be we never said we were rebels in the main cantina, so they just think we were Imperial agents. They don't know we tried to do the double thing.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is probably the move.
So what? Okay, what's exactly the plan?
The plan is we put Sophia in a disguise, and she goes back into the cantina because some time is going to have passed by this point. Yep. And she's gonna go, basically be like, I'm trying to work out my phrasing ahead of time here.
Don't need the specifics. You're going to go back to the main settlement, put on a disguise, go back into the cantina. Then from there we go. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's the part I need to know. You all okay. Any objections?
No.
Go ahead.
Very good. You make your way back to your rental ship and fly back towards the main settlement.
We got to land in the main settlement because they never saw our ship.
Yeah, you can do that. That's completely correct. During which time, Dara puts the disguise on Sophia. After you have discussed the plan in character, of course, which I'm going to say that you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm being nice. I'm being niceys. Very good. You arrive back at the main settlement. It's probably been 2 hours since you were here last. But this time you actually land in the settlement.
Yeah.
Well, on the landing pads outside the landing spots.
Mm.
The designated Lego Island helicopter pads where you can land your Lego Island helicopter.
I think only
Sure.
Sophia should leave the ship and go to the
Yeah.
cantina. I think we
Oh.
should just wait at the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't know if we have the supplies for multiple disguises here.
No, I think
Definitely not.
my
It's a one-person
understanding of
kit.
my understanding is that it's distinctly a one-person kit.
Mm-hmm.
So who gets the disguise kit then?
Sophia, we've been over
We've
this.
been over this.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay, Sophia, you exit, make your way into the cantina. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Welcome back to the cantina.
Ready. She's going to look around a little furtively as though she's like scoping out the place, which she kind of is to an extent. And then she's going to casually stroll up to the bar, have a seat.
The Duros proprietor, after a few moments, comes up towards you and just like, hello, need something warm to drink?
I'm trying to think. I don't think Sophia said much of anything when she was here last.
No, I don't think so. Certainly not to the proprietor.
Yeah. But she's gonna like, deepen her voice just a little bit, to play the role a little more. And she's like, if you don't mind, what do you got?
Oh, a little bit of this and that. They show off some of their list off some offers because I don't have.
Yeah, I understand.
I can come up with names easily on the spot. Don't make me come up with drinks. That's fine.
Yeah. She'll just be like, got any recommendations?
Yeah. He recommends one of their drinks.
I'll have one of those.
All right. Makes you a mug and puts it in front of you. Here you are. That'll be 2 platinum.
She forks over the coin, which I'm going to assume she has some money from the stash on her person, because does not make any sense for her to be walking around with 0 platinum,
Yeah.
as my sheet says.
How much was it? Sorry.
2.
2. Okay.
I'm breaking the bank over here with my drink costs.
She's going to, she hands the platinum over, says thank you kindly, takes a sip of the drink.
It's a little heavy. Like it's a little on the thicker side than you might expect, but it is very warm.
Ah. And then after that, she takes an appreciative sip of the drink and then says, you might be able to get something else for me, too.
Maybe? What do you need?
I'm looking for some folks that might have come through town a while ago.
Just gives you a look of continue.
5 of them. Imperium contractors.
Sure.
You know where they went?
It takes as a not really. I think they went to one of the other settlements. They came by here very briefly, asked a question or two, got the location of another settlement, and then set off.
Really? What did they come asking about?
Nothing important. Something I couldn't help them with.
She thinks for a moment, and then glances around. And then she's gonna put some more platinum on the table and say, maybe you could help me with it.
How much platinum?
How much do we have to spare right now?
618. I'd say 50 is like a good chunk.
I think that's not enough for what she's asking.
I'd have gone with 100 to start.
Yeah, I think she's gonna set 100 down
Okay.
on the table.
Okay, 100. Okay. Looks down at the platinum. Says, looks down at the platinum. Nice coin. Not sure what I can help you with for that amount.
Oh, you.
Well, she says, I don't have an astronomical amount of coin to give you all, but I might be able to help you all out in some other way. You scratch my back, and I can scratch yours.
Would be great, but we don't need much back. We don't need our back scratched around here right now.
You don't think so?
He eyes you up for a moment and leans elbows on the couch. So you can talk. You don't necessarily have to whisper, but like you can talk a little more hush. Like, what are you after?
Um,
Hmm.
She glances around the room as though to make sure no one is listening, leans in a little closer, lowers her voice, and she says, I want what they're studying in that station. If I get it off this planet, they don't have a reason to stick around no more.
He clearly scoffs at you. Said, yeah, and I want to be the next emperor.
You don't believe me?
He's like, no, I believe you. I believe that you want exactly what do you say you want. I just don't think you're gonna get it.
You don't think I can pull it off?
I sure don't.
Well, I think you're. No, let me walk that back. She says,
Take it back now.
fair enough. But
Sorry.
Shut up.
she says, fair enough, but you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
He's just like,
All kinds of people in the basin, you know, some with unique talents.
Sure.
Okay, I have to really think about this because this is a risky move, but it might work.
I love risky moves.
You love risky moves?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
After a moment, Sophia says, I think I've got better odds than you think. And she's going to, like, how do I describe this? She's gonna, like, pull the front of her jacket aside to reveal her lightsaber, hooked on the inside of it. And then quickly close it again, so that no one else sees.
He looks a little more surprised that fancy weapon ain't going to do you much good in there.
No? Why is that?
Like the security's tight.
Um, God, I gotta think about this.
He takes a moment himself and kind of cuts into the silence. Look, I can tell you're persistent. Because you're clear, you're not gonna. If I don't tell you this, you're just gonna go find the information from someone else here. I bet.
I'd prefer not to waste that much time if I don't have to.
Look, it's a suicide mission, but fine. 450 and I'll talk.
Done. She's gonna set the platinum on the table.
Alright. He pockets the currency. You got that, Logan?
450.
450.
Okay.
Alright. So, look, I don't know too much. I'll tell you what I do know. So, well, every local knows, more or less knows the Imperium has some kind of top secret facility here. Not many know where it is. I happen to do. They make sure most of us don't talk about it. And on the few occasions, someone has, we don't see him again.
Not surprising. Well, in that case, I'm debating how funny I want to be here. Afterwards, she says, if you're worried about security, you don't have to say nothing. Just ponder it for a few minutes for me. And then she's gonna start reading his mind again.
He kind of obviously doesn't know that you're reading his mind, so he just kind of goes on as if you were having a conversation still. Like, look, it's a small station. Can't be more than 100 people there. Because whatever they're doing, they don't want people to find out.
That much I know.
As for your mind reading, he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
You mostly catch the details a little bit before he says them as he thinks them up. As he's like comes into his mind and out his mouth,
Yeah.
Like, look, it's a small facility built into the side of a mountain, right by a glacier. I don't know much about what happens inside, but I know the place isn't too big. And I know they try to be careful. This new guy who tried to sneak in did not come back out.
No. Anything else you can tell me?
Can't approach it by ship.
Where can you approach it from then? You said it's on a mountain?
Built into the side of a mountain.
Is there a road leading up there?
He chuckles and shakes head. Doesn't exist a road on this planet.
Figured as much.
Says the Imperium, they come by with ships. Says you obviously can arrive by ship, but they're not going to let any ship just land there.
Right.
Says now what says you want if you're only going to get to you'll have to walk or use a snow speeder.
Not what I like to hear, but so be it.
That'll be your best bet. Is a speeder.
Speeder.
There doesn't happen to be anywhere here in town we can that I can rent one, is there?
Nope.
Well, damn.
But, oh, I mean, a couple of them might go missing for a few days, I suppose.
That would be mighty convenient.
He kind of like looks past you, makes like a gesture with his head, very slight gesture. You see, you can feel another patron behind you. I'm presuming you don't turn to look. You can hear the sounds of someone getting up and walking over to the lockers, putting on their equipment.
I see.
How many speeders?
Oh, okay. This is tricky because if I say 5, that's going to be an immediate red flag.
I
Say
mean,
2 or
a
3.
speeder can take a couple people, can't
Yeah.
it? So
Depends on the
that's
exact speeder. Sorry, as a mechanical question, how many people can be on the speeder depends on the speeder. The speeders in question you've seen because they're parked outside of the cantina, so you know what kind of speeders they are. These are. You could probably fit 2 people on the speeder.
She thinks for a moment and says 3 of them.
All right. But it's your funeral.
It might be, but you know,
He's gonna shrugs. We can write those speeders going missing off on insurance.
well then, I probably won't be seeing you again, but it was good talking to you.
Because I hope you won't.
Fair.
She just gives him a little bit of a 2-finger salute, and then gets ready to leave after finishing her drink.
As you you walk by the lockers. The guy who's currently he's pulling up his big heavy boots and everything. He drops a couple of key chips on the ground and doesn't seem to notice.
Doesn't seem to notice. I understand. Yeah, I will. You know what? I'm not even.
Keys.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lean down to pick them up or anything. I'm just gonna levitate them into my hand real quick.
Everyone goes, "Oh my god!" very, very loudly. Everyone else now knows.
Well,
No, yeah, you grab the ignition keys. Step back outside.
Alrighty, that was a success. Assuming he didn't just lie and there are 20 Imperium guards waiting outside to kill me instantly.
Surprise!
You appear to have caught me when we only have 1 destiny point. I die instantly due to no peerless interception. Anyway, I will head back to the ship.
Very good. The rest of you are faffing about on the scrap heap when Sophia returns.
Well then,
As she steps back onto the ship, she's gonna pull the mask off for the disguise, toss it to the side, and is like, ugh, I hate the feeling of those things. Anyway, she jangles the speeder keys in her hand. I figured out where it is, and we've got transportation.
let's get going then.
lovely.
Now the question is, who has the highest piloting space? Which 3 of us are driving?
You mean piloting
Piloting
planetary?
planetary, rather.
I would dispose.
Or
Piloting
green.
planetary, rather. No, I'm gonna take this fucking thing into space.
It
Do a
makes,
sick trick off the mountain.
I was gonna say there's gonna be the biggest ramp.
Yeah,
I'm
it's on the mountain.
I have a 1 rank in piloted planetary with 3 green dice.
I mean, of course you do.
Yeah. I am not spectacular at any kind of piloting, but I can bullshit it with the enhanced power if absolutely necessary.
I have 3 green dice. That's
I'm
it.
gonna very quickly run to the bathroom. Give me 1 moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need to run down and turn on my pool's salt generator or chlorinator, so I'll be right back. I just remembered I left it off.
I have 4 green dice, so I could also drive if need be. New kind of Harley to rev.
So what about Dara?
I've just got 3 green dice.
So I think that means Dara and Bacta are the ones not driving.
How good is Sophia's piloting planetary?
2 green dice normally, assuming I don't bullshit it with the enhanced power.
Does the enhance just give you 1 extra green dice?
No. There are 2 ways I can use it for that.
Oh!
I can either use the piloting planetary upgrade, which just lets me add my force rating to any planetary piloting checks, or I can just commit dice to up my agility,
Right.
which also increases piloting.
I should know this. I have enhance.
You do.
Can you believe it, guys?
Star Wars. Just right now. The Decade Hawk.
You just saw that, yeah. I was thinking to
Never mind,
myself, like, oh,
that-
doing tricks. Oh, yeah, Tony Hawk. Oh, yeah, Decade Hawk. Perfect.
Look, my favorite ship is the Fortnite Pigeon.
I return. Ah,
Welcome back.
what are
You
we
come
talking
back
about?
just in time to miss me saying that my favorite ship is the Fortnite Pigeon, which is technically in line with the Millennium Falcon's naming scheme.
Yes, I understand. Oh. Nom, nom.
What are you eating, Tez?
Chips.
Yes, that's correct. These
Chips.
are chili. These are chili and lime flavored tortilla chips.
Interesting. I'd be interested in trying that.
I think they're quite good, but I also like a little bit of kick.
Yeah.
I famously put Tabasco sauce on all my pizza.
You sure fucking do.
It's not the worst thing I've ever heard.
Tabasco sauce is a perfectly prominent pizza condiment.
Yeah.
It tastes great. I love Tabasco sauce. Okay, gang, we're ready to carry on. Is Jamie here?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to steal some speeders? Steal is in quotation marks.
Yes.
Of course.
We're borrowing them.
Okay, so who's driving? You have 3 speeders.
I will be driving.
I guess I will drive the other scooter, the second one.
You are literally the only person with any kind of ranks in piloting.
Planetary
Yeah,
piloting, yeah.
There.
And Sophia's doing the third.
Yeah,
Don't
Sophia
press,
can
don't
also
press the
do
scooter, Sophia.
She'll be fine.
Turns out it's a manual and she can't drive it.
Oh no!
The force can only help you with automatics.
Yeah.
It's just like a stick shift.
That's what the manual is. Yes.
Shit. Okay.
Sorry,
That-
Jamie, that is
the,
what
the,
that
man-
is.
the manual refers to the manual gear shift,
Yeah, I gotcha.
Which is
which is also the
on a
only
stick.
which is also the only kind of car I can drive.
Yeah, UK is almost entirely manuals, right?
Maybe. I sure don't live there.
Sorry, EU.
I wouldn't know. Sure not a member.
Man,
Really?
Norway's not a member of the
I actually
EU.
didn't know that.
No,
Yeah.
Norway's not a member of the EU.
Interesting.
Europe.
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 I don't know about Europe as large, but Norway, you have to learn how to drive stick. You can't learn how to drive automatic.
Interesting.
Here in Australia, we have a rule of if you learn to drive in an automatic, you can only drive automatics.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry,
That
that's
makes
correct.
sense.
We have that, but that's why most of your learning is going to be with the stick, so you can drive both.
That's
Yeah.
honestly really funny to me because if you didn't learn to drive a stick shift, you're not gonna drive a stick shift. I don't think that, or you're gonna make it
Yeah.
really fucking apparent that you can't drive it.
I don't know. I've I mean, obviously, it's what I learned. I've never. Obviously, I don't have a license, but I can drive because I did take. But I've learned how to drive. I just don't have a
Yes.
license. I've never found driving with the stick to be complicated.
Yeah.
In fact, using this. Sorry, I had like something in my throat.
Yeah.
In fact, it's very intuitive to just swap roughly every like every 10 kilometers per hour you're driving.
Yeah.
Roughly, not exactly, but roughly. Anyway, off you go. One of you gets to drive solo, two of you drive doubles. Doesn't really matter where's where. So
I'm hopping behind Sophia.
okay. Then who drives solo, Timmy or Bacta? Or Lofgata?
I will drive solo.
Okay, Dara, looks like you're sitting with Timmy.
Okay.
You'll speed up.
Alright.
Jimmy, arguably the only person qualified to drive here.
We just got pulled over by the police. Let's see their license.
It's not like there's any traffic to crash into out on the open fucking snow plane.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
It's
I-
fine.
But there is another problem.
Yes.
Snow bears.
No. The problem is, as you begin heading in the direction of the research facility that you were given the direction of, I'm going to just say you were given the direction.
Okay.
The wind starts picking up,
Oh shit.
which
boy.
means that snow starts to get thrown everywhere, and your visibility gets greatly reduced very quickly as you drive through I wouldn't call it a snowstorm. In Norwegian, we have a word for it, but I don't. I know it's not the English word, so I'm not going to use it.
Blizzard?
No, so I wouldn't call it a blizzard.
Interesting.
Flurry.
Yeah, I guess it's more let's just have an English Wikipedia article. Just called okay. The English Wikipedia article for it is just called blowing snow.
Yeah. All right.
For those of you driving, I'm gonna need a piloting roll.
All right.
Okay. What difficulty?
2 with 3 setback.
All right.
Hey.
Does the adverse environment gear's ability let them ignore one of those setbacks?
I think so, because like the whole point, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so it
Well, the
does.
whole point is that it grants you the passive ability to be within.
It also allows you to ignore one setback imposed by the environment if it's appropriate.
So in that case, it is in fact 2 setback for everyone.
All right.
which is more manageable.
Okay.
But this is. Can you do that? Do you have the planetary piloting upgrade? You
Yeah.
do?
I do.
I see.
You came free with the skill.
It did not.
Beautiful.
It cost 5 experience for that specific talent.
This is worse than a 50-50 for me, and I'm not sure what the consequences of failure are.
Natalie appears in
die.
front of you and slams her lightsaber down on the front of the thing, and you go flying.
Oh, that would be
I think
so
the more
fucking
likely
cool, though, visually.
Yeah.
I think the more likely scenario if Nathalie swings her lightsaber at me while I'm driving a speeder head on at her is that I just die.
Honestly, yeah.
It's a very one-sided jousting match.
I mean, the speeder would likely explode. And she's built different. She can tag those.
Yeah, she can tech those.
You know what?
Look, all I gotta do is dismount at the right time, and then the iframes.
The iframes will carry you.
Here we go. Yeah, okay, thank God I did that.
Woo!
Then it's a one success zero threats.
Just barely.
What were you saying, Ruth?
I was just saying you turn into one success zero threat, so
Yeah.
The conditions pick up as snow starts to blow very heavily. You can, Lokata especially, because you're driving alone, you can feel it push against your snow speeder.
Mhm.
And like try to veer you off course more than the others can, because they're more weighed down.
Yeah.
But you push on through.
Yeet.
Woohoo!
You keep riding. After a total of maybe 4 hours out on these speeders, you clear out of the blowing snow and keep going. It looks like you have to go quite some distance. About an additional, I will say 4 hours later, 8 hours total. As the sun is beginning to set, you come by within sight of the craggy, tall, windswept mountains. And you can very clearly see, maybe 100 meters off the ground, like ground level, there's a protruding landing pad with the glowing field of a hangar bay.
unfortunately I have a blaster carbine which cannot be racked, but Bacta does the equivalent of racking the carbine.
Oh, you know.
You have to do it like Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog.
I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog was wielding a weapon that actually exists. There are pump shotguns with pump weapons with stuff like that look like that. Yes.
Anyway.
You continue your approach, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
You look closer a bit towards the base of the mountain, and maybe a 20-minute walk away, you decide to maybe reach a stop and... Actually, now that I think about it, you probably won't stop much further away for sensor reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, probably here as you come into sight of the mountains, that's probably where you want to stop. Which means you'll have to walk the rest of the way.
Yep.
You have the unfortunate situation of noting that temperatures decrease as the sun sets.
Yeah. As they
Yeah.
do.
By the time you reach the edge of the mountain on foot, from where you put down your bikes, you walk for an additional at least hour and a half, maybe more accurately, and find yourselves close enough to a slightly exposed bit of this research facility built into the mountain. Looks like there is some kind of ground level door in here. It doesn't look very frequently used because most of it, a solid 40% of it is covered just by windswept snow washing up against it.
Mhm.
Huh?
Alright.
I guess we just there's not like people standing guard, is there?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to try and stealth us at all?
I think the natural cover of the snow is going to be our only real stealth option.
I think he means once we get into the building.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just in general, do we want to take a stealthy approach or are we going to start blasting?
I think we should try and remain undetected for as long as humanly possible, because going in guns blazing is how we get Nathalie immediately, I think.
yeah.
Oh, speaking of Sophia and Lofgard for that matter, on approach, you both get the heebie-jeebies.
Lop looks at Sophia like, you feel that?
I do, but I don't think we can afford to waste this opportunity.
Me neither.
We'll have to proceed very carefully.
Alright.
She realizes as soon as they finish that exchange that no one else knows what the hell they're talking about. And she's like, be alert, everyone. It's quite possible that Nathalie is here.
Can you tell?
Her presence.
Sure, okay.
That's
Don't worry, Dara. You will believe that when you're being ripped apart by the Force.
Unfortunately, she does believe it. She just doesn't like the fact that, like, okay, I just have to go with that. Like, he's telling the truth. Unfortunately.
You make your way for the entrance.
Yes.
As you approach, you notice that there is a light above it that seems to have been completely extinguished. If there's a panel next to the door, it is completely covered by snow.
Well, what do we do now?
By snow, you said?
Yeah. You can't visibly see one. It's somewhere under all the snow that's blown up against the door.
Well, we happen to have two particular tools on our persons that generate a lot of heat, which would be quite good for melting snow, I think.
Perhaps.
Whip out our lightsabers, ignite.
You use the heat of the lightsabers to thaw away as much snow as possible. And there is a panel here. That's the good news. The bad news is you don't think it's even working.
Shit.
It gives you the immediate impression that it's been exposed to these elements for so long that it's just non-functional. You know, too much of.
Get in here then.
Is it repairable?
Not without parts you don't have on your person.
Like a toolkit?
Without parts you have on your person.
As in
Yeah, like there are
components of
missing
the
pieces.
machine.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
But as luck would have it, this does also give the impression that this is an entrance that is no longer in use.
Which
If that's the
means
case, we can probably just cut through.
that might draw attention if there does happen to be anyone on the other side, but
If only
Wow,
you had
sure.
a ability that could sense other people.
Yeah, sure, I'm glad I took my smoke break down by the frost door.
No one's gonna bother me here.
A Jedi? Two Jedi? Two Jedi and their friends?
you know what though? Stick does raise a good point. Can I sense if there's anyone on the other side of the door nearby?
Well, I do believe you have to roll for that.
I do.
I mean,
Oh
you're-
my
I was gonna say, I mean, you're going to succeed, but there is a chance that you don't, so I do still need to see the roll.
I can sense all living things within short range.
No, there's no one that you are not presently aware of within
Okay.
short range.
All right. It seems like we're clear. Shall we cut our way in?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love doing lightsaber things.
Yeah, the two of you clear out the door more and cut through it enough that all of you can get in through the entrance you've made. You step into a dark, mechanical hallway. Again, more for just further side, this access is just not in use.
What the hell?
But are these your indoors? And you have a path that you can just keep taking. Which I assume you're going to go along this hallway that you have exposed.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Along the hallway, you notice that there is a door to the left, also currently closed. But the hallway also keeps going ahead towards, it looks like, probably a turbo lift central.
Hmm.
The door's not labeled, I assume.
No. The door to your left, no, not labeled.
Also, I know the answer, but I have to ask just in case. This is an electronic door that, like, it's either
Yes.
open or it's either open or it's not. We can't like crack the door open to.
Yeah,
peek in.
that is correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Star Wars.
This is the game we've chosen to play.
That is true.
No.
Well, then get out.
Shut up. Okay. So here's the problem. Opening an unidentified door when we do not know what's behind it is very risky. But
only if you don't believe in yourself.
that has nothing to do with what's behind the door.
Yes, Lori, what's your question?
Could I just do sense myself?
Do you have the sense power?
Yeah.
I do.
Sure you can.
Oh boy.
The sensor.
Sophia, how do you like roll it as the sense power? How do you do that? Or do you have it set up in your...
Go on to your talents tab, scroll down to your force powers, right click on the power and hit roll force power.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's that fucking talking to you? Ah!
By virtue of being the GM, you're always talking
All right.
to me. No, you don't sense anyone.
Okay. I think we should be...
Not even your friends.
Ah!
Okay, should I
Guys,
go in then?
you turn around, they're all gone.
Now,
Okay.
new
I think we can
psychological
risk
horror
going in,
dungeon.
but important to note that not sensing any people does not mean there are no security cameras.
Yeah.
So let's be careful.
Well, how closely do you think they're going to be watching those?
You never know.
This is security was tight, so probably pretty closely.
Didn't we? But didn't Hawk tell us on the call that he was calling right now because security was supposed to be like? No, hang on. I think I'm getting my.
Yeah, I don't.
yeah.
No such thing was said.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
getting.
this
I'm
whole
getting my
about the
wires
vault,
crossed.
and that they're gonna
Yeah.
get it finished soon, so we had to go in anyways.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
we know for a fact that other people have tried to get in before, so it's not like they've been like left alone here for a while. Like they know people have tried this before.
Yeah, I'm just getting my wires crossed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so into the left room or dead ahead towards the turbo lift?
I think we'll try the left room first, see if we can learn anything valuable in there.
Okay. You tried the door. It's powered down.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we are probably not going this way then. I don't think we want to cut through every non-functional door that we come across.
I'm more worried about the fact that it's increasingly look like this facility is abandoned, or that something terrible has happened here.
You know,
You could cut through the door. I suppose you could try and give it a surge of power just to open it. It's a possibility. Obviously, each approach carries its own risk.
I think we keep moving on for now.
Are you sure?
You can always come back later and...
Are you sure?
I'm going to interpret
I'm suddenly
that
no
as-
longer sure.
I'm going to interpret that as Sophia gets a force premonition that this door is important. And she thinks for a second, and she's like, Lafkata, can you force it open?
Yeah, sure, I
What?
can try.
Timothy is going to
Shut up.
prepare.
No, it just occurred to me that it used to be once upon a time that when we encountered a shut door, we had the Wookiee open it. And I'm like, maybe we can continue using this course of action.
This tactic.
Go ahead and give me an athletic check then.
Alright.
Let's call it, see, shut door, let me think. How hard would that be to pry open? Not just shut, powered down. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna give you a 3.
Difficulty 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Where you get enhance on athletics.
I do.
Oh shit! I should have gone higher.
Well, I convert that failure into I use 2 of my force pips to make it a success.
You got it, big boss.
Yeah.
You pry your hands into the side. Your fingers ache, but you get enough grip that you can pull it open. You push. You put your elbow into against the door frame for leverage and everything. You try hard. Takes some doing, but you force open the door. Enough. It looks like a small abandoned locker room.
Go inside. Are all the lockers closed and locked?
No, none of them really appear locked.
All right, let's start searching them then.
A quick search reveals that there are outfits present here.
Isn't that convenient?
Huh.
We can slip out of our armor into these.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea though, actually, because if we need to make a quick escape,
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea
that's
for us to
true.
lose the armor.
Yeah, if Nathalie wasn't here, then
You will not stealth through this facility with any semblance of success wearing your environment suits. That is a dead giveaway.
yeah,
I think I can probably get away with it because I'm a droid. I probably have higher temperature resistance, so if we do need to run, then I'll be okay.
yeah, you will be, but you are one person out of this 5-person
Correct.
party.
I can scout ahead.
I see. Fair
I'm
enough.
also the person with the best stealth and deception skills, so if it had to be someone.
Good point. You know what?
The equipment here there is like a low-ranking officer's uniform and some like lab coats. Not specifically, like a researcher's outfit.
Yeah, okay. Should I just hand off my environmental gear for someone else to carry? Actually, wait, no, I can just have it in my inventory and not be equipped.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I can still have it on me.
it just implies that it's on you. Yeah, like on your person. You have it on your person somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then she disguises herself.
What kind of disguise do you put on?
Well, you said it was like a research outfit, right?
So there were multiples.
Oh, what were the other ones then?
So there's a low-ranking officer's fit as well.
I will actually go for the officer's fit then.
Okay.
I think that's
Is there any kind of like security key
No.
cards or things? No. Okay.
No, there's no. Nothing. No code cylinders or anything of that sort has been left behind.
Is there any kind of other equipment here, or like blasters or whatever, like batons? I don't know.
Not especially. No.
Okay. Just yes then. Okay. I'm all ready.
Are you going to disguise kit yourself up?
Yeah, she will also use the disguise kit just to like. So that way, if we happen to like pass by Nathalie, she doesn't immediately go like, "Hey, hold on." She's got like the false face on and everything.
Sure. And is Dar the only one who's going to swap into a disguise here?
I'm thinking about it. Maybe I will slide into a disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, you can do that, Jamie.
All right. Who's going to put his disguise on?
All right. Timmy will take off his environmental gear and swap into a researcher's outfit. Look at that. There's a researcher with you.
I had a sudden thought, and I have no idea if this is actually grounded in reality or not, but I'm wondering if there would even be a... Well, no, I'm definitely thinking along unfounded lines here.
What was the thought, anyway?
The thought was, I don't know, I wasn't sure how much good putting on a uniform would actually do Sophia in an Imperium base, because I don't know how, like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this.
Prolific her faces.
Yeah, like as a
I think the Imperium should, outside all of the secure facility, put a poster that says "Do not enter" with Sophia's face with a red cross over it, and then underneath it says "Especially you."
But no, considering that Sophia was like the maximum security prisoner at the prison, I figure she wouldn't be that well known, probably, except to like high-ranking personnel or something.
Plus,
People,
we do
people that
we
know.
do want to remember that presumably, not presumably, we know that I'm forgetting her name, Natalie is here, and so if you don't have like a false face on, she is going to like probably like clock you immediately.
I'm gonna be so real with you. I think she'll probably clock me immediately anyway.
Yeah, this is
Fair enough.
Quite frankly, if I'm being honest, the person who should put on the disguise kit is Sophia. That's the person who would probably benefit the most from it.
Yeah.
In the nicest way possible, as far as Natalie's concerned, most of you are forgettable.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Lovecraft and
She's
Sophia
never
are the
actually
ones
met
that...
Bacta. And to be honest, while she's never actually met Bacta, Bacta does share a face with a lot of other people that Natalie might have met some of.
Yeah.
So Bacta feels like he should sneak behind and wait to come running for backup.
Yeah. Backed up.
So the question is Sophia going to disguise up?
Yeah, might as well.
Are you going to slip on a researcher's fit?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Is Dara or Sophia going to have the disguise kit on then?
You wanna call dibs?
I think so. As Tez said, Sophia probably benefits from it more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lovecraft going to slip on a fit?
I was actually thinking you guys should act like I'm a prisoner. Why the fuck else would a Wookiee be here?
I feel like we're leading into stereotypes a little bit too much.
That's discriminatory.
I mean,
the
question: why the fuck would a prisoner be here and not just shot on sight?
Yeah.
Listen, it's his stereotype. He can reclaim it.
That's.
God.
I'm just like Luke said. Why would a prisoner be here? And also, Wookiee scientists do exist. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, Wookiees aren't unintellectual people.
I never said they were. Oh my god.
Lafkana's the exception.
I hate it here.
Damn, bro. Holy shit. Okay.
I don't know. I'm still really hesitant to be putting on any sort of disguise because, like, if we need to leave,
that's totally fair. You don't.
Is there a security uniform?
There's a security uniform. Sure, why not?
Just wear that.
I think the problem is more if we need to run, he's not gonna be like ready, and he's gonna be cold as hell.
I'm worried about that for all of us. That's my problem.
I would actually think Lafkata would have the least issue with that, considering all of the fur he has.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm not.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Lafkata will also freeze to death. He'll just freeze to death last.
Yeah. I'm not like super concerned about myself. I'm worried about the entire party going out into Iceland. Not the country, the world.
Random question, Tez. How long does it take to don the environmental gear?
Probably no more than a couple of minutes. Well, let me think. Okay, let me think realistically. Hold on, because I haven't put on like that dense good, but I have kitted up for the cold in my life.
I think like a couple minutes sounds like reasonable.
You pull up. Let's see. Put on the heavy pants, pull up boots, gloves. Yeah, I think a couple up to 5 minutes. I think probably not more unless you're like really dawdling, but like no more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But no less than at least like 3 minutes. So between 3 to 5 minutes
Okay.
is what I would guess. It's
Yeah,
not the
so
kind of thing you quickly
if we switch into disguises, we're not leaving quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on the flip side, if you don't, you will have a very hard time getting anywhere.
Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll put on the officer uniform.
You put on an officer's uniform, okay?
No,
to be
Officer or
fair,
security?
Yes, because it's security or
okay,
officer.
sorry, security.
I understood you meant. I figured you were thinking security officer. Yes.
I assume we
Okay.
get no benefits from wearing these.
No, these are just clothes.
Yeah.
Like these are just functional clothes.
Yeah.
What about Bacta? You're also disguising up.
Do you guys want Bacta to come with you, or do you want Bacta to stick around and be ready to just book it through the facility at the inevitable first sign of danger?
I'm just out of character. I'm just worried that
Yeah.
if you don't, you will be like
Yeah,
just
fair enough.
sitting idle for a long while.
We'll probably put on a security uniform then.
Because
Otherwise,
I'm fine
just
with
sitting here.
I'm fine with you making the choice, but I want you to be informed that that is a choice that you would be making. I can only do so
I'll
much.
put on a security uniform and come along.
Okay. All right. You all
Because everyone else
take
is.
some time to swap out of your environmental gear into these outfits left behind there. You find something that is reasonably fitting to you. Nothing is obviously going to be perfect to your size, but you find something that's passable. Get geared up. For the most part, you look like you can make it look like you belong here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing you're missing is any form of credentials on your person.
Surely Dara could sneak us something at some point.
Granola bar, please. That would nice.
All right. Well, it looks like you're geared. You're kitted out.
Indeed.
To the turbo lift.
To the turbo lift.
The turbo lift. That's also the thing. We're not going to be leaving that fast, even if we have to, because our only way out through here is the turbo lift, anyways.
The turbo lift, as you approach, does seem to have power. You can call it down here.
Okay.
You wait for a few moments. The doors slide open for the turbo lift. You step aboard and ascend up, I'm going to assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You arrive. The turbo lift slows down because it opens up, and you are almost immediately greeted by a security guard just walking past.
It appears we made the right choice.
Mm-hmm.
You step
Just
on
nod
out.
to them, keep going.
You've entered the research facility properly. Around, you can see the holes. The holes here are properly lit. There are various doors around. Occasionally, you can see someone moving throughout the area, but you were told there's not that big of a crew here.
Yeah. Do you want to adjust on a quick map, or doing this more free flow?
More free. I don't have a specific
Okay.
layout that I need to adhere to.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I was seeing that out. All right. Now, if you were a top secret relic being examined, where would you be?
The lab.
Probably in the most secure section of the building.
Curious.
Hmm.
Here's another question: do you want to split up, or do you want to try to stick together?
I'll be honest, as much as I don't want to say split up, we are incredibly suspicious grouped up like this.
Makes
Looking
you
like
say
the-
that?
Because you look like the 5 evil kids from Kids Next Door.
The delightful children from down the lane?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Ah.
Because you look like them all grouped up.
Oh gee, it's those 5 people we don't recognize. The only 5 people we don't recognize. All right next to each other. I wonder what the story is.
Alright, so you're gonna split up?
Yep.
Alright.
I think the risk of that is significantly outweighed by the risk of encountering Nathalie while we're not all together.
See, I do think that there is a potential. If we do run to Nathalie, if she doesn't immediately recognize us, we might be able to get away and get to everyone else. But if we're all together, she sees us, it's going to be a dead giveaway. Like, as much as I understand where you're coming from, I feel like us staying together is just going to backfire tremendously.
Okay.
If you
Also,
if you always agree, I'll roll with it.
if a facility is low amount of people, it's probably relatively small. We can probably we have comms.
We have comms.
We can run, probably get to each other fairly promptly. Just like don't go through any
I
massive
get the idea.
security check.
So,
That's what
splitting up.
everyone wants to do. I'm fine with that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, are you all going individually, or do you want to split up into any kind of pairs?
Groups would be best.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. I just, in that case, I need to know what groups.
Should Locke and Sophia
Probably groups
go
of 2
together?
each.
Well, there's 5 of us, so one of us is gonna have to go alone,
Or
Wait,
you have 2 groups.
Yeah, 2 groups.
Yeah.
or that.
I think Loth and Bacta should probably go together because then they just look like a pair of security guards patrolling together.
That's true. That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest would look like, Dara's the officer leading the couple of scientists on.
That
Yeah.
tracks.
So,
That
okay,
sounds
2
good to
groups.
me.
2 groups, alright.
Yeah.
Okay, you kind of exchange a couple quick looks, all step off the elevator in opposite directions.
Alrighty.
Alright. Let's start with. Ooh. Let's go with Lovekata and Bacta.
Alright.
Lovekata and Bacta. Hi. My 2
Hi.
favorite guys. Sorry, Timothy.
Damn.
Well, see, if Timmy was there, I would say my 3 favorite guys, but he's not, and I can't call them my 2 favorite guys missing 1. It's too much.
My
for
first and
muscle.
third favorite guy.
You'll have to figure out which one is which.
Yeah, we don't know. We're not allowed to know.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum, if you prefer. You
Christ.
walk on off. What kind of what are you looking for? What are you trying to? Are you, obviously you're searching for him. What kind of place are you looking for?
Well, we're expecting this thing to be moved soon, aren't we?
Yes. Well, no,
with
no,
what we
actually,
do,
we
They're
don't
in the
know.
process of translating it.
The time pressure is that the more time you took, the closer they get to finishing translating it.
Mm-hmm. The issue
We
is
don't
no
know
one-
when-
We're probably just looking for, spots of large activity where lots of
Okay.
people are doing things.
All right, fair enough. You wander about and come into. You kind of follow you kind of like pseudo follow one of the scientists you spot, who seems to be like going about with their day-to-day business.
Follow at a distance.
Yeah, a little bit. And walk off into the same room with them. It appears to be some kind of large research lab. There's about maybe 18 workstations littered about, each one which has a very clear display case with like a magnetic field around it and everything, and some kind of relic or artifact being placed there.
Oh, so there's multiple here.
They're doing a lot of research here.
Oh shit. Loft is like
Right.
scanning the room. Hang on. Let me.
Yeah.
We were told it was a tablet, right?
Yes.
Okay. Does he see a scientist near anything that looks like a tablet?
Yeah, they're all iPad babies. What do you think?
Not datapad tablet.
No, you don't really spot anything that looks like a tablet in here. No.
Okay. They must have taken it someplace else to study it more closely.
Or there's multiple research rooms or whatever.
Yeah. Regardless, they clearly have a lot here.
You there, officer?
Oh,
Yes?
no.
A scientist kind of waves you over.
Yeah, Bacta walks over, just Bacta cannot lie for shit, but can snap into just, immediate soldier attitude.
Yeah. No, like, you currently on a patrol?
That's right, sir.
Hmm.
Fine, this is more important. Tell your supervisor that you'll return to your patrol after this. I need help moving something.
Will do. What do you need?
He kind of looks at you like you should know, right? He gives you the distinct look of like, what do you mean, what do I need?
What do you need moved specifically?
Rolls his eyes, steps to the side, says, that. He gestures towards a large, like, I'm envisioning it in my head. I'm thinking of how the words to describe it.
Lab of rock.
No, not quite. Like, on how, you know what? It's like a large sarcophagus.
Oh, okay.
Right.
He's like, that?
Understood. This is good, because this will mean we look like we're busy doing something, and that makes it look like we belong more, while we can just look at more places.
Yeah, Loft is gonna, like, walk off, I think. Since, Bacta was called over to do something. He's gonna try and keep investigating elsewhere.
Okay. As you do, the scientist looks back and says, no, you there. The furry one.
Turns back. Yes?
Come over here.
Walks over.
Come on, give me a hand with this.
Sorry. Starts helping with the sarcophagus.
Yeah. Dara, with the other trio, Timothy, Dara, and Sophia.
Mm-hmm.
You walk about. You went in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
You swish and slide through a couple of rooms as you figure your way out. You make your way to the control center of the research station. There's a couple of science officers and technicians working the consoles here. There's like a viewing bay. The place is basically built like a bridge, even though it is just a command center. After only a quick moment in here, so you catch the attention of like some officer here. So he kind of like gestures, he points specifically towards Dara. Says, "Are you there, officer? Over here, please."
She nods and steps over.
You come close. He just kind of like squints. His older man, thick, bushy mustache on his upper lip, says,
Sir?
"Sorry, I don't recognize you."
I've been told that I have a forgettable face.
Uh-huh. We're the scientists. He looks past you. The two scientists you arrived with. What assignment are they on?
Ah. Mm.
Last I heard, translation detail.
He looks befuddled for a few moments, like translation detail.
Perhaps I shouldn't have said that. You know, there's a lot of work going on here that classified. Pretend you didn't hear that.
He looks so confused. It's like now you listen, but before he has a chance to enter the tirade, what's Sophia and Timothy doing? Well, did you approach with Dara?
I think Sophia is trying to play it cool and see if she can access like one of the terminals in here to see if she can find any useful data.
Okay. And Timothy? Timotongo?
Timothy is Tim Tongo.
Yes,
Timothy is probably just like standing by and watching, but who's gonna probably try to do something to look like who's busy.
We just walked in the room, so.
Just
Yeah.
look over Sophia's shoulder and nod knowingly.
Yes.
Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Yeah, no,
CO2.
who's gonna? No, yeah, good idea. Who's gonna walk over to Sophia and just pretend to
Look like you're conversing. It looks like you two are conversing about something, you know.
We're just moving our lips, but we're not
Okay.
actually saying something.
Dara, the officer, like, he gets a little red in his like, now I have higher clearance, but before he has the chance to launch into his tirade, a clearly more senior officer steps over, in a bit of a hurry. You can tell by the speed of his step, and he's like, "What are you doing, man? Pull yourself together, both of you."
Watermelon.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
What was that, Lutz?
It's an old drama trick of if you want to look like you're mouthing something, you just mouth watermelon over and over and over again. It looks like you're saying something properly.
Watermelon.
Yeah. As this senior officer comes over, chastises you two. The guy you were talking to, kind of like huffs, reaches up, like, and chugs his collar while it's even like, "Stop making a racket! Do you want to lose your heads?" It's just like, Her Highness is in no mood for any of this. Do not give her reason to look your way.
Oh boy.
Apologies. I'll just
No.
return to my duties.
Back to your sector.
Right. Goodbye.
The officer who you first argued with, like, "But Colonel, she," and he's like, "Quiet you." Dara, you start to walk off to head, presumably to leave the command center, just to create some space
head
right
to
now.
quote unquote my sector.
Yeah, go to the door, press it to swoosh it open. You come face to face with Nathalie.
Oh,
She like immediately like steps aside, like lowers her head, like
Hiding her
deferringly.
face.
Is that the word?
Yeah,
No, she doesn't need to hide her face. She's just showing respect.
yeah. Nathalie looks the same. Well, I would say she looks better than last. Last time you saw her, she was dying.
Yeah. She's
very
not
much.
dead.
She's very much no longer dead. Wearing her full armor, you can see both lightsabers at her belt.
Mm.
She steps in, looks towards the right, just eyeing Dara up for a few moments. Like, "Don't you have somewhere to be, officer?"
Yes, princess. Sorry, it's just through there.
She takes a
Like,
step
just
forward
the
and
door.
and stops. Like, no, hold. He turns around. Everyone in the bridge here on the command center are like nervously. They're fucking shut. No one's saying anything. With Timothy and Sophie, you're also clearly within sight of this.
Yeah, when this starts happening, Sophia is going to like freeze to blend in with everyone
Yeah.
else.
Mhm.
She holds a hand back slightly as you were like partway through the door, right?
Mhm.
Turns. What did you just say?
Me?
Yes.
I was just heading back to my sector.
Says no. She snaps her fingers and gestures for you to come back inside the room.
She does so.
Says, you said princess.
Oh boy.
Proper form of address.
She she's like she looks visibly displeased. At this. Sorry, what was that?
No, I'm just thinking to myself. I could see. The funny thing is, I had that in mind because the other guy just called her that. So I could throw him under
He
the
called
bus.
her. Didn't he call her Her Highness?
I heard princess. I
No, he said princess.
I see.
Sound considerate.
Nevertheless, addressing her that way to her face is improper.
I
Yeah.
did not know that. I do not actually remember the proper addresses.
Fine, don't worry about it. It makes the scene more interesting. That's what's important. Nathalie brings her hand up. She doesn't even bring it close to you. Clenches her fist, and she's going to, assuming you don't resist, she forces you to drop to a knee.
Yeah, no, Daro can
Yeah.
fly.
You can feel involuntarily like the servos in your leg and like everything just kind of like crunching together as you're being forced down to a knee.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, it's your highness. To scum
I'm
like you.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness.
Do you have a good reason why I shouldn't kill you?
Thinking. Hmm. No, Your Highness. My life is yours to judge.
Oh.
That's an answer.
She scoffs and just like unclenches her hand. You can feel the tension and pressure put on your on your your hydraulics and everything like just ease up.
Daro will remain kneeling.
Yeah, she just doesn't say anything else. She just walks back in the direction of the colonel. She continues the way she was walking.
Everything lets out a small sigh.
I was gonna wait for her to pass before she
Yeah.
slowly starts to stand up.
Okay. You filter out of here before while you still have the chance. I assume.
Yes, but
Yeah.
she'll pause outside the door so you can hear what they're gonna say. Unless the
Okay.
door closes.
And the door will close automatically, yeah.
Oh, in that case, then yeah, that's for dear Sophia and
Yes,
Yeah.
look, conveniently you have two
Yeah.
other people in there, so you can
Yeah.
readily afford that.
yeah, she'll
So
still
you
step
said
out.
Iris, what were you were scanning through these systems here?
Yes, I'm trying to see if I can find any useful data.
Such as? Do you have anything do you have something in mind? What are you hoping to find?
I think the most plausible thing to find would be like a layout of the station, but if I can, I want to see if I can find any of the data on the translation project.
Okay, give me a computers roll for just navigating through the system.
Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and call it a. Okay. So you can. Okay. Sorry, I keep restarting and stopping that sentence. If you want to search, I'll let you choose. If you want to search for a layout, that'll be a much easier check. If you want to also try to get information on the translation project, that'll be a more difficult check.
I'm gonna look. You know what? I don't love my odds, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna look for the info on the translation project.
Okay, go ahead and give me a difficulty 4 roll.
Okay.
I'll tap a dark side point to upgrade the difficulty in that once.
Fair enough. Now, I can't perform any funny force tricks on this one, and even if I could, I don't think it's a good idea to do that in Nathalie's presence.
Okay, so you will not and cannot do any form of force tricks.
There's one thing I could try, but it's not a huge boost. I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be worth the risk of drawing attention.
That's up to you. Your computer skill is obviously not the highest, so
yeah,
it's ultimately up to you. What do you think? Is the right move?
I'm just.
And Timmy help?
I'll let Timmy help.
Yeah.
I see no reason.
Sure,
Timmy specifically said he came over here to assist, so I think that makes sense. Timmy can give you help.
Okay.
In that case, you get the higher of his intellect or ranks. His intellect his intellect is higher. He has an intellect of 4.
Okay.
So you get his intellect on it. Whichever is high, because you get I believe you always take prioritize characteristic first. If that's not higher, then you take ranks.
Yeah. So I got a 4 intellect.
Okay. Here we go. I will simply. No, you know what? I will do that.
Fair enough.
To make it perfectly balanced as all things should be. And trust in the Force.
Thank you, Thanos.
Holy
Thanos.
shit.
Okay. You sweep through the system. You do this while Dara and while the conversation happens. Like a little carefully, mind you. Sure. You're able to find some information. There's 2 prominent pieces of data that you glean from this.
Okay.
First, there's nothing about the actual progress on that. Your very quick understanding is that every individual project or research is kept on its own separate database, own separate files. It's not part of the main system.
That makes sense.
Because you don't want to have that all linked. You don't want to have one big point of failure.
Yeah, that is true.
Each project is just stored all differently, but you can tell both where their data is going to be stored and where the actual tablet is.
Okay, perfect.
The unfortunate bit comes next.
I see.
The tablet, as predicted by Stick earlier, is certainly kept under the most security. And thanks to the map, you can also tell where that is. It is down in the glacier. There's a turbo lift that goes down into a subterranean glacier. That is where the actual translation lab is.
That. Goddamn. Okay.
The actual data for it, though, is kept here on the main lab. Like up in the main station, I mean.
Okay. So, I think the plan here is for best results, we want to see if we can find that data, and if not take it, then destroy it, and then go for the tablet itself and get the hell out of here.
You do have two different groups. You could split. You could split up, as in you could. Lofkata and Bacta could do one while you do the other. That is a possibility.
True.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it not only is the tablet kept down in the translation lab, you also require very high security clearance to get there.
Because of course.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we're gonna need to swipe a key card off of someone, probably. And that's tricky because I would expect whoever has the clearance to get in there to be in this room right now.
Yeah, the guy who said he had the highest clearance.
He said he had higher.
Yeah. Just to be clear, he said he did higher clearance than you. That doesn't.
Does not mean
your
highest,
officer. Your officer is that of a junior. Your uniform is that of a junior officer.
Ah, that would have been good to know.
I
You
believe
would
I
know that.
originally said that it was of
Did
a.
you?
lesser
Oh, I
officer.
just missed that. Then that's my bad.
That's all good. No, it is that of a much lower rank officer. Okay, that is some information gleaned from checking the systems at the very least.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the question is, do we risk sticking around to listen to Nathalie's conversation with these guys, or do we get the fuck out of this room while we can?
Honestly, I don't
think
think it's
I was just gonna say that Natalie's gonna absolutely recognize Sophia's like presence. Maybe not Timothy's.
Probably not Timothy. I don't think she
No,
remembers Timothy.
Okay, now see, I was under the impression that if Nathalie was going to recognize Sophia through like her force presence, she would have done it already just by proximity. So we probably don't have to worry about that unless Nathalie actively turns her attention to Sophia.
I think the biggest issue there is if she's actively looking for it. Then she will find it, no doubt.
Yes. So yeah, that complicates things because it's a question of if we try to walk out of the room right now while she's here, that might draw attention.
Yeah, the question is it more... Is the bigger danger in leaving or staying? That's the question right now.
Probably in leaving. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think we gotta...
Keep your head down.
I think we have to pull an Ato maneuver and hide in the room until they're gone.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
At least you're better situated.
Yeah, it's true. We could be hiding under the bed.
We could be. Yeah.
Has someone made an edit with that, but it's the Saddam Hussein meme?
Yes, I'm 100%
Okay,
sure.
yeah, I was gonna say, it just
Oh, no.
came to mind like surely that's a thing.
Anyway.
Oh, dear.
Okay, you gonna stay?
Yeah.
Nathalie approaches the person I now identify to as the colonel. Seems to be in charge of. It seems to be the highest officer on the station. Who very clearly bows in deference. As does everyone else. Nathalie makes her way past. Luckily, as right now she hasn't paid any attention to you. You are literally less than the dirt beneath her boots.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That's right where I want to be.
Oh, I'm
beneath
sure.
beneath her boots.
I knew you fuckers were gonna read into that. God
Oh, then
damn
you
it.
said it anyways.
You teed it
So
up
you
for
knew when
us.
you
What do
said
you
it.
want?
I'm sorry, it
I-
was too easy.
I
It
can't
was
say
way too
anything
easy.
to you people. I can't say anything.
You just said you knew, and then you decided to say anyways. So you reconciled with the
God
intent.
forbid I have a little faith in my friends.
Just be glad
Clearly it was
Caitlyn isn't here.
misplaced.
Clearly.
Oh yeah. No, that's true.
Either way, the cardinal just kind of bows. Like, Your Highness, I trust everything is, and she just kind of like scoffs, like, save it. I don't care for your pleasantries. I'm only here because my father had a premonition that this place might be in danger.
Oh fuck.
Ah.
Hey, gang, you know what I've suddenly remembered? We should go to that planet with the Seers sometime and do something about that.
Yeah, we should.
Something.
Been wanting to do that pre-time skip.
The officer, the colonel kind of like clears those. Of course, Your Highness. Well, we are nonetheless happy to. And she kind of like just like, what part of small talk did you not understand? He just kind of quiets down. Like she just sighs, like he taps her boot impatiently on the ground. Looks around a little bit. Something doesn't feel right about this entire place. I'm going to go and put and retrieve the tablet and keep it on my person.
Oh
fuck.
Oh, no.
I mean, we're probably gonna have to fight her anyway. At least just where we get the loot easier.
Wait. We're a step ahead of her actually. She just has to go get it right now. If we can find it first and then sneak out, we have a chance.
Well, she's presumably going to do it right this second.
The colonel Your Highness, and she's like, what? Is there a problem with that plan? He quiets down very quickly.
Motherfucker,
Like,
if we had a
good.
light point, we could do something about this.
I'm like, good. That's what I thought. She turns and starts walking. Stops a little bit. Looks around. You. She snaps her fingers, points to Timothy.
Yes? Shit.
Says, name and station.
Oh, shit!
Oh fuck.
Oh, no, I was not ready for this.
Such an upper
What
third
do I
class.
say? What do I say? What do I say? Fuck. You guys have any
Jimothy Basham.
suggestions? Jimothy Basham. Yeah, that's not.
Don't do that.
That's not weird at all.
Have you tried Bimothy Tishup?
I think that's worse.
Honestly, you could probably just say Timothy Bishop, and she wouldn't remember it. I don't know if
Don't-
you should do that, but it would probably work.
I wouldn't try it.
I wouldn't try.
I was gonna say I don't think that would work.
I would not recommend it, but theoretically speaking.
It's not the
That's-
most implausible.
That is the high difficulty on the fucking the options bar. It's the lie, and then it's like a fake name, and then it's like lie even harder. Timothy Bishop.
Tim. Shit. I need to come up with an
My name is Jimothy.
Jimothy. I can't think of anything. My mind's drawing a blank. Fuck.
Think, Timmy, think.
I'm thinking.
You just gotta bluff with confidence.
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm
Actually,
not good with names. I'm not good with names.
no. Hold on. Let's think about this for a second. Timmy's actively been helping Sophia check. What is it? The data on the terminal. Could we have found like a project that Timmy could reasonably claim to be on? Like just in the list
Oh.
of projects.
Sure, I'll give you a lifeline. I'll give you the lifeline. You could say the project that just first caught your eye looking at it is the Klaxon Spear.
Okay, you got
Okay.
that. Now you just need a name.
I'm thinking. Okay. Thomas Beck. I work on what was the project's name again? It was
Klaxon Spear.
I'm working on new Klaxon Spear project.
Okay, give me a deception roll.
I think deception is one of my worst.
Oh, that's what that's what I use all the time. That's my
Yep.
go-to tool for this campaign.
You said
Thank you. I
discipline?
think it's Emily who makes the site.
Yeah, she's great. She's very good. No, deception, James.
Whoops. Sorry, deception. Where's deception? Shit, yeah, I only have 2 dice in. I only have 2 green dice in deception. Oh no.
Oh god, it's a skill
Oh.
you don't have ranks in.
His social skills are the worst.
I would assume that Nathalie doesn't know every person in position here, so presumably you just have to fool the other officers here. So they don't call you on it. Hopefully.
Go ahead and
Okay.
make me a deception check, difficulty hard, please. Before you roll, I'm going to up the
Oh.
difficulty.
Oh, son of a bitch. So it's like 2 difficulty, 1 challenge.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to flip a light side point to upgrade my ability in
Yeah,
retaliation.
okay, fair enough.
I'm so nervous. Here we go. No way!
Holy.
I know exactly what I'm going to use those threats on. This is going to be great.
Damn it.
Oh
shit.
no.
What did you say the name was again?
His
Thomas
name
Beck.
was Thomas Beck.
Thomas Beck. She kind of scoffs. She kind of scoffs. Says, "You're with me now."
Yes, of course.
Oh, we're so cooked.
Fuck!
She turns her head towards the colonel and says, "Have him reassigned." And the colonel just like bouncing. Of course, Your Highness. She walks off like she doesn't like run. She walks at a relatively brisk pace, but like because she has places to go, and she doesn't want to waste time.
She's a fast walker.
Yeah.
That sucks.
She gets towards the doors. She's like, "Now."
Of course. And Thomas is going to follow her.
Timothy, wait, hold on. I need a GIF. I need a GIF. I need a GIF. Give me a moment.
Oh no.
This.
Hold on. Hold on. Logan Stick, this is for you. Timothy Bishop, Thomas Beckett.
Timmy holds up his hands. You got me.
It got me.
That's.
Uh,
I love when Hank realizes that Walter White is Heisenberg while he's taking a shit.
Yeah, you just.
It got me.
So I just because I realized the initials were the same, I had to make the joke.
Yeah.
James. Timothy follows rapidly after Nathalie. As soon as both she and Timmy have left the control center, Sophia, you notice the tension in the room dissipates as everyone effectively gives out a relieved sigh. The colonel adjusts his collar. You can see him, like, if you look towards the colonel, you can see him reach up and like, he puts his hand on his forehead to, like, brush his hair back, but he's clearly wiping away some sweat.
Yeah.
He takes a moment, like, well, what are all of you doing? Back to work.
Sophia's going to take that cue to leave the room.
Yeah, fair enough. Stick, are you muted? You're muted. Are you here, or are you not here?
I am here. I don't know why I was
Okay.
doing. I must have like pushed the key button by accident.
Okay. Did you appreciate my Breaking Bad joke?
I did.
Okay.
I did say spoilers for Twitch chat.
Oh. Yes, sir.
As soon as Sophia gets out of the room, she's going to go on comms to inform everyone else of what's happened.
Okay. Just before that happens, real quick.
Okay.
Dara, you are out in the hallway. The door to the control center opens. You see Natalie walk out with Timothy trailing behind.
Good luck, Timothy.
Carry on now, Iris.
Yeah, Sophia gets on the comms, waits for I assume there's like a sound or something to indicate that someone's about to talk, so she gives everyone a minute to, keep their cool, and says, I found data on where the tablet and the existing research data is being stored. However, Nathalie's headed to collect the tablet and keep it on her person right now, and she's conscripted Timothy to go with her.
I don't know if we can slow her down.
Loft looks at Bacta with his like mouth agape, like, "Oh fuck."
I'm not sure we can, get this because we're currently but two-handeding a giant sarcophagus between us.
I mean, I have a earpiece comm. Oh, I guess Bacta would.
Oh, I
so
don't know.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you wouldn't know.
Back there, you see Lovecata have an expression of dread.
Yeah, his eyes
Is
widen
he-
like.
I assume the scientist is not close enough to hear us if we hush whisper to each other.
No, he would not catch a quiet conversation. He's walking ahead of you. Attention kept on the tablet that he's tapping through. So
What is it?
Natalie's going to get the tablet and apparently dragging Timothy with her.
That's not worst case scenario.
It's up there, though.
We're not far off, though.
Apparently, Sophia knows where the tablet's being kept, so we need to meet back up with her at some point.
I don't think we're getting the tablet before, so it's more concerned about the data.
Yeah.
Well, the tablet's what we actually...
We
didn't
need
want
the tablet, but we also want to write the data.
Well, their data is going to be incomplete. If I get the tablet, I have a better chance of just fully translating it with psychometry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we need to steal it.
The
We need
data
to
is
steal it.
secondary concern, but
yes.
we're probably not getting that tablet before she does.
Before Natalie, that seems unlikely.
So no matter what, we're going to have to fight Natalie on the way out. So if we can slow them down even further by fucking with their data, we go for that.
Fair.
The data's a secondary objective for sure. But
Yeah.
if you're able to do something with it, then you should.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't give your lives over it.
No.
These scientists are like, do they teach you to chat or do they teach you to work?
Loth hops at
Sorry,
that.
sir.
Yeah. And he just like security guards in this place are terrible. Just walking,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Got a stupid word.
Oh, god damn it.
Okay. Well, Natalie's taking Timmy off on an adventure.
Yay. Help me!
And that will be all right, thank you. Yep, that's all. That I figured out this. I knew this had to be a thing.
What's going on?
Just a meme. A Last Defense Academy meme.
Oh, okay.
All right, what's Dara gonna do now?
Well, I had planned for her to already have been like on her way before Nathalie went out, but that's too late now.
In towards the access to the down to the translation project.
Yeah.
You can still be on your way.
Wouldn't Nathalie have already like passed her though or something?
We can
Or,
we can just recon that out. I didn't know you had
Okay,
a specific
cool.
place you wanted to be.
that was what the plan had been, but I didn't want to interrupt the scene.
No, that was just flavor. We can scrap that. That's just flavor.
Okay. Then yeah, Dara is heading on her way there, where I presume all the stuff in the room was going on.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me.
Okay.
You don't have the luxury of a map, so you kind of figure your way out in that direction. But you do find your way there. It is a turbolift with a security guard, with 2 security guards outside, and like clearly like an identification scanner.
Hmm. I'm thinking because this is very very tricky because we're
It's a bad spot.
I might be able to use the fact that Nathalie is here to my advantage though, because no one wants to fuck things up when she's on her way here.
That's true. She's prone to killing people
Yeah.
indiscriminately.
Um.
At the slightest
Oh,
provocation.
you know what? I got an idea. She's going to like be like fast walking and look like visibly worried as she like walks over to them.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
No, the guards are like, the guards don't stop you because they expect you to scan your ID.
She does stop, and then she says she's like starts like talking quickly, like very like worriedly. I need to inform the project lead that her she's on her way here.
Highness.
Her Highness.
Yep. They kind of exchange They exchange glances. One of them gives you a that's rough, buddy look.
Yeah, she like starts like patting down her uniform looking for her ID card. I presume there's not one
No.
in the office.
No, not
So she
not
like
even a
looks
basic
around
one.
for it.
Yeah.
She turns very pale and she like looks up at them. I think I left it inside. Oh,
Inside the translation lab.
yes. Look, she's only a couple minutes away. Please, please, let me in. I don't want to die. I already got on her bad side once.
Go ahead and give me a deception roll.
Woohoo! Okay. What difficulty?
Sorry, hold on. I'm thinking. I'm having a thought.
Mm-hmm. The fun thing with Dara is that, like, actually, no, we really ruled that doesn't work. Never mind.
Yeah, go ahead and give me deception. Let's call it. This is a tough one. They're not gonna want to let you pass because they obviously have their own orders.
Yeah.
You know what? Give it difficulty 5. This is gonna be just very tough.
Okay. I'm going to take 2 strain to increase my cunning for a scene.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to use my cunning in place of this. So I am rolling with 5 dice. No light points,
Nope.
which means I can't use unmatched tradecraft.
Jamie.
And I can't bail you out of this
Yeah.
one with there is no try.
Let's hope this works, because I do. Yeah, with no light points, I don't have a whole lot of bonus
Trust
options
in the
here.
force.
I trust in the force.
All will be revealed.
See, baby.
Oh my god!
What? Okay. One of the guys like, sorry, we can't. The other one's like, the other security officer kind of like he sighs. He takes out his coat cylinder into the door and like says, "Be very quick. It's the only you did." He just like, be quick about it.
She nods. Thank you.
You head inside. It's a turbo lift, so you start going down. You start going. Timmy, you and Nathalie arrive at the axis. The two security officers standing by the turbo lift axis immediately snap to attention. They have not stood at attention this crisply or cleanly since they graduated the security academy or whatever. You know, they haven't stood like this since the proudest day of their life. You watch as they don't make any moves towards the other. Nathalie looks at them. They're like, summon the turbo lift. They're like, we can't, Your Highness.
Oh no!
Nathalie just said, what do you mean we can't?
Can't or won't?
One was like, you see, Your Highness, it's currently... He starts choking mid-speech.
No.
Yeah, Timmy, you watch as Nathalie, with no patience, just crushes his windpipe. Like, just holding up her hand, closed fist. You hear the snap as he thumps to the ground. The other guard is absolutely regretting letting Dara through.
Yeah.
He's like, nah,
Yeah.
let's try that again. Summon the turbo lift. He gives a very quick nod and goes to the override panel to, make it come back up immediately.
Oh shit.
Dara, you descend down. The turbo lift gives like a ding, as it comes to a stop. As it's about to come to stop, the doors into the translation hub slide open, and you feel the floor beneath you start to ascend again. But without even it doesn't even come all the way down and starts going back up.
She's gonna dive out.
Make me a coordination check.
Okay. What difficulty?
I'm gonna call it difficulty. I'm gonna say 3. I'll use the dark side. I'll use the dark side point as well.
Okay, difficulty. I would rather not do this, but I'm going to use my presence in place of my agility so I can get an extra ability die.
Okay.
It's gonna be close. Fuck.
Okay. You dive out. Your foot gets stuck, but you pull it back after a few moments. I'm gonna go ahead and say you're gonna take some wounds for that.
Okay, that's okay.
That's the price you're gonna pay. We're gonna call it... I'm gonna go ahead and say 10 wounds.
10? Okay.
You're crushing your foot, effectively.
Is soak, right?
Yeah, is that minus soak?
Yeah, I'll let soak apply. Sure.
Okay. So that's 5 wounds. Jeez.
Hold on. Do you have armor on that's increasing your soak? No, you do not. Okay.
I just have yeah.
No, I just want to
I'm
confirm that. I just want to check that your armor wasn't applying here as well.
I wish it was.
Yeah, so you just take 5 wounds effectively.
Okay.
Have you applied that?
Yep, I have. She now has 7 wounds.
The glacial lab is where you are now, down in the translation.
Wait, actually?
Yes.
Can she call it back down, or will it not work?
It's being If you could try to override it from your end, but
Okay.
it's being overridden from the top now. So
what check would that be? Would that be
Like-
computers?
just pressing summon's not gonna work.
Okay.
No, I think this is more of a mechanical override than a technical override.
Okay.
They've accessed the hard hydraulics of the the hard mechanics of the lift.
Normally I'd be able to do this, but I kind of burned my my do anything buttons twice in a row there.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
You
So
wanna
I think I'm
cook-
just gonna have to not do that.
You don't want to make an attempt.
You know what? I'll give it a shot, I suppose. What difficulty?
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna say that the act itself of what you're doing is probably hard, but it is also at the same time being manually written from the other side, and the amount of pressure you're under. I'm gonna say 2 setback.
2 setback. Okay.
And
Works okay. Yeah, this is a pretty kind of a Hail Mary shot, but whatever. That's a weird roll.
okay,
Weird roll.
you quickly on the floor. Your leg. You've cut up part of the uniform from getting trapped in the lift. It's cleaved into some of your skin. There's like a little bit of spark from your leg. You grab it, and from how it's offset. You just grab it, snap your foot fully back into place, because you can just do that.
Yeah.
And quickly scramble for the panel next to the turbolift. Pull off the access panel, plug your hand, start looking at some of the wires, some of the mechanics. You give a couple of things a try, but you realize this will either take too long or you're just not going to succeed. And if there's one thing worse than tampering with a turbolift, it's getting caught tampering with a turbolift. You abandon course. You leave. You don't even bother putting the panel back on as you get up and make your way into the lab.
Could you turn? No, that's a bad idea. Actually, she's just gonna go.
Okay, you're just gonna make your way. Okay, so you make your way straight into the.
I will ask real quick: is she able to replace her face mask with a different one?
Sophia is currently wearing your disguise.
Okay. Well, darn. We'll just have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, Sophia. I'm afraid Sophia is currently wearing your disguise kit.
She'll just head straight in.
Yeah. Timmy, up with you. The security officer is very nervously overriding the system to make the turbo lift make its way up. Nathalie's visibly growing impatient. As soon as the doors open, she starts marching in. As soon as she's through the glass door, she can see the lift arrive. She goes straight for the door. By the time it actually opens, she's already basically stepping through it.
Right, Thomas is going to follow.
Nathalie shouts out to the security guard, "Don't let anyone else in until I return." And the door closes, and you two descend down the turbo lift. Meanwhile, Bacta and Lofkata, you arrive in a storage unit or room where the scientist has directed you. This is some kind of. It looks like essentially a cold storage for relics. Each one of them are kept in suspended boxes. You can see probably well over a dozen different relics of various sizes kept here. All right, here, just put it in the magnetic field there, and it'll secure it. Secure it.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Back to will follow orders.
Yep. You two prop it up vertically and put it into the field. It sets itself in the middle and hovers there automatically. The scientist good, at least someone can do something. If they must chat while doing it, as you were. And then he just waves you off.
All right.
Lop is gonna
Glance around this room before we leave. Anything interesting in this room?
Plenty of things of interest. Nothing you could like muck with or get away with.
damn.
Man,
Uh,
that's rough.
Loth is going to immediately calm Sophia. Where's the elevator to the lab that we need to take?
She'll just relay the location because she is unknowing.
Yep.
All right.
So okay, go on.
I was just gonna say, Loth starts leading back to where the
Yeah,
elevator's supposed to
will
be.
follow.
You two both arrive outside the turbolift access to the glacial lab. There is a dead security guard on one side of the turbolift, while the other one stands there stiffly, weapon at the ready, not like aimed at the ready, but he's holding it, clutching his rifle tightly.
Are there clear indications that this guy was choked out?
Yeah, you can visibly see on his neck that it's crushed in.
Okay. Quick thinking. Loth immediately goes, "We're here to take over, so you can take him."
He firmly shakes his head. Absolutely not. I have been instructed to stay right here.
Poor guy.
You can hear the terror in his voice.
Oh, fuck. Trying to think. I am not good with deception.
What's happening? What's going on?
What was that, Loot?
What's happening? What's going on?
Her Highness has entered the glacial lab. I'm under strict orders to not let anyone pass till she returns. Officer Jenkins was too slow for Her Highness's liking.
That's why we're here to take over, so that you can take him to...
He shakes his head from and says, I need to stay right here.
Fair enough. If Her Highness demanded it, then we'll go and make ourselves busy elsewhere.
He's like, oh, she demanded it, all right. He's like, call for a stretcher when you return to your post.
Will do.
Yep, stepping out, Bacta will slip comm into his hand. Getting into that elevator's a no-go. Natalie's already down there.
As soon as Sophia hears that, she's going to... Let me see here. Interesting. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm going to do something funny. I'm going to use the Seek power. And perhaps against my better judgment, I'm going to flip a light point to activate the Control Targets upgrade, which will let me spend points to learn where an additional target is. So I roll it. Okay.
This is Seek, you said?
Yes, I spend 2 points to gain insight into the location of a person or object I know about. I spend 2 points to activate the power. Sophia's going to presume that Lofkata and Bacta are still together, so she's going to use this to learn where Timmy and Dara are.
Okay. You get a sense of where they both are. They're both in the same general direction.
Which is down.
Yes.
Wait a second. I don't think you can sense Dara.
There's no reason that I can't because it also says object.
Yeah, it does say
never
object.
mind then.
Yeah. It doesn't specify living.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've used this to locate my lightsaber before. Anyhow.
Oh, okay.
Timmy. You're in the elevator. Natalie has her arms crossed eyes closed, impatient tapping. You see her eyes snap open.
Uh-oh.
Timmy, you watch Nathalie. She reaches a hand up, clutches you. The turbolift grinds to a halt.
Oh no! Oh, I have fucked up.
Oh fuck!
Oh no! Timothy is going to look at her.
You're basically knocked off your feet by the suddenness of the turbolift stopping.
Okay, no, that's fair. Yeah. Timothy. I'm sorry, Thomas falls. I'm calling them Thomas for the rest of the session.
Understandable.
Gotta lean into the bit.
Well, on the plus side, it's probably bought me more time.
Small comforts.
So Thomas is going to like, who's on the ground? Who's slowly gets up? The hell? What's going on?
Quiet. I'm concentrating. Her eyes trail around as if she's like observing the scenery, though there's nothing in this turbo lift, obviously.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! She's sensing.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, there. She kind of like holds her hand up. One of her lightsabers snap to it, and she just cuts a hole in the ceiling of the turbo lift. She looks towards Timmy as like a molten slag plate of turbo lift metal like hits the floor inside of it. She puts a hand on Timmy's like shoulder, forces him up against the wall. You're going to go down, you're going to get the tablet, and you're going to bring it directly to me. If anything happens to it, I will kill you. And when I'm done killing you, I'll kill everyone else in this forsaken, frozen wasteland. Then I'll find your family, and I'll kill them next.
Oh! Thomas is just gonna like give a quick nod. Of course.
Good. She just hopped up onto the roof of the turbo lift. She's like, I'd brace for impact if I were you. She's gonna hop up and give the like a force push on the lift to just shove it back into motion.
Okay. Well,
while she herself is basically going to, if you look up, you can see her like basically wall jump her way up the turbo lift shaft.
Oh,
Fuck
like
you,
Mario
force
64
users.
wall jumping.
Yes, Luke, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say, once informed about the elevator, back to where's the data center? We'll head that way for the data.
Quick question. Just because I think this might be warranted. Does Sophia sense a disturbance in the force when that happens?
Sure.
I'll
give it to you.
You can get your head start.
Sophia gets a bad feeling, and she relays the location of the data center, and she's like, I'm headed there immediately as well. I think Nathalie's onto me.
Lofkata and Bacta, you're not in front of the turbulence, but you're still close enough. You hear the grinding of metal and like impact. If one of you peeks around the corner, the doors into the turbolift shaft have been blown open. The guard who was in front of it's on the ground, right, like rolling around in pain. Blunt pain.
Yeah.
Nathalie's just standing there. She cracks her neck and walks off.
We'll meet you there.
Loth is going to calm Timmy. Timmy, are you there?
Timothy is going to wait until he meets. I'm sorry, Thomas is going to wait until who's sure that Nathalie is out of earshot, and then who answers, "Yeah, I'm here."
You're in the turbolift, which is like wobbling on its way down the shaft because it's not evenly functional anymore. She did emergently stop it with the force.
Timmy, grab the tablet and get out of here.
Yep. Just hoping Nathalie doesn't find out what I'm up to. Nathalie just appears behind
He
him like,
spawns behind you instantly.
Fucking prowler
and
noise.
Nathalie's like, "I knew I couldn't trust you." Stab. Yeah, Timothy is Thomas is gonna go. Yeah, don't worry. Timothy Bishop. Who's gonna put his comms away and who's gonna run for the tablet? Fuck.
With all these pieces in motion, we're going to end today's session.
Okay, thank you all
boy.
so much for watching.